So where's Jesse at? Is he alive?
He ignored us. He'll send us several TikToks later tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But then that'll be it.
We should, at the start of this episode, we should recreate the Peacemaker opening intro.
You want to do it? You guys got the choreography down?
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, boy.
That's the best intro I've ever seen.
I agree.
So apparently it's supposed to change episode to episode. Do you guys watch it every time?
Yeah, there's subtle differences here and there with it, the choreography.
That like goes with the storyline for that episode. I think they like add people in and stuff.
Oh,
apparently it's apparently the guy that wrote it said it's very intricate and make sure you watch it every time.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I got to go back.
All right.
There's different people pop up.
Yeah.
Different people pop up.
Different people pop up.
Sissy.
Chug.
Pussy.
It's like this one.
What's going on, y'all? You're tuning in to the highest rated, most listened to podcast to ever grace the airwaves, and you're a better person for listening to us. It's like, fuck you guys. All right, maybe not, but you're really going to enjoy it anyways. This is Made to Motivate podcast, and we'll be talking social media hot topics, pop culture news, the greatest movies, music, and all things sports.
Why,
Make sure you're following us
shirt?
on social media at Made to Motivate podcast on Facebook, Instagram,
you can see it
and
clearly.
Twitter. I have
And
your
you can watch
camera
the
show
show
on our
on
YouTube. Thanks
the
for
whole
tuning
thing.
in. And with that being said, let's get this show started.
I washed it. Didn't dry it. It's still shrunk.
Why fuck Alf? What's wrong with Alf? Oh, I couldn't see. Okay, I got you.
Fuck off,
My
everybody.
nose.
Hey, yo.
Snout.
Fuck Alf.
Made to Motivate. You guys, season 6, episode 2. It's been a little slow.
Here's a shocker.
Slow burn.
We were off last week.
Slow burn. Why were we off last week?
You construction.
Construction.
Oh, yeah. I've been fucking everything up. I had COVID. We were off, and my house is being remodeled, and we couldn't record last week. So
I can't tell you how many messages I get during the week about this shit too, man. They're like, you Ryan just said on that last episode of the year, like the first one of the year, he goes, "We'll be back for a while." The very next week.
oh, did you people message you wondering where the fuck you were?
I'm getting
Suck.
fucking hit about this shit.
I apologize, y'all. It's been chaos lately, but we're back, and hopefully for the foreseeable future until we go on vacation shortly, and then we'll be gone again. But that's neither here nor there. We're back right now. It's Made to Motivate podcast. This is your host, Ryan Weiss, season 6, episode 2. Joined as always by Christopher, the Film Freak Kessinger.
Yes.
How you doing, bud? You're a
Great.
year older. Have we been together since your birthday?
Ooh,
I don't think we've been together since your birthday. I don't
no.
think I've seen you since your birthday.
Wait, we had to have.
Did
Yeah.
we? What date's your birthday?
18th. It's the second now.
Yeah, well, because that would have been last week, right? And we didn't do a show.
My birthday was Tuesday. Oh, well, no, we did it Wednesday that week. Yeah, we have.
Have we seen Chris since his
Yeah,
birthday?
because I talked about Whitey's on here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep.
We suck.
Yeah, we got
Because we went to go to tacos.
That's
we went
right.
to Whitey's.
Yep,
That's right.
this is one of my gifts. Go Suns.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
And we also got Daniel, Denim Dan, Sandmann,
Fuck
aka the
off.
shoe guy.
Fuck off.
What's going on, bud?
What's going on, guys?
Welcome back. Good to have you guys here. We tried to get Jesse to come hang out. He denied and ghosted our messages. So maybe someday.
Yeah.
We'll see. He'll be here when the boat
One and
comes.
done.
Should have said there was naked men in the studio.
He may or may not have shown up for that. Guess we'll never know. But yeah, we're back. What's new and exciting? Anything happened since 2 weeks ago with you guys?
For me, it's more what I'm planning. 2 weeks, I got vacation coming up, and God, it could not come at a better time.
What's the plans? What's happening?
Well, I'm staying local with this one, but I want to check out like the Football Hall of Fame, and I want to do. It's been probably 15 years since I did Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I want to check that out. Look at all the updated shit, and got a massage day on Monday.
Ooh,
so
very nice.
be doing that. Yeah, my sister got me a gift card for my birthday, so I'm going to Massage MB, which I've never been to.
Did she upgrade for the happy ending?
Probably not a massage envy.
So
I don't know how that works.
I tried to check that out with the cashier, and she said we'll let you know, and she
Oh,
gave me a
okay.
wink. So I think I'm in.
It's like different colored gift cards depending on what services
They
they
got
paid for.
They got a reputation to uphold. I don't know if they.
This
Yeah, I
one's
don't-
got a white splash on it.
Hey, So that's cool. Vacation. So what days your vacation start?
The 11th is technically my last day of work.
Okay.
So in that night I have to finally fulfill my 2-year-old promise of taking my mother to a Dwight Yoakam concert that she got 2 fucking years ago, and it has been canceled ever since.
We're on vacation at the same time.
Didn't they?
Oh, are we?
Didn't they cancel the last one like the day before or the night before?
Dude, it was
Or
the day of. It was
Day
like
of.
hours before.
That's right.
I came home from work and I got the text on my way home. It was like 3 hours before showtime. I was like, this is some bullshit right here,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Dwight, get it together.
Yeah.
If you decide to hop on an airplane, we'll be in Disney.
Yeah. That's
Like,
so that's when you're going?
We leave the night of the 16th. So that's the week
shit.
you're on vacation.
Daniel, what's up?
What's going on, bud?
You know, just irritated today. Tell you what,
Fuck all, right?
fuck all. Fuck Samsung.
Yeah. What's going on?
I told you guys earlier about my
Maybe we talk 'em up,
refrigerator and
they'll
ice maker.
sponsor us.
Yeah, right. Ice maker went bad, which happens in a lot of Samsung refrigerators, and had the repair people out today to fix it, replace it, and turns out the interior insulation of the refrigerator is warped.
That's not your fault though.
Well, I hope not. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything for it, but
Yeah, like
from what I
what do
heard-
they say cause? Like what causes that?
heat, excess heat, and
Yeah, we've had a lot of that lately.
right. Well, it's been it hasn't been working for a couple months now, and
Mhm.
I just shut off the ice maker. I tried defrosting it, like just through the electrical components. Just like hold down this button for 5 seconds, and it should help it thaw out, but it doesn't because the door's closed because all your food's in there,
Yeah.
and it keeps everything cold. So, I called the warranty place because I bought the extended warranty on it. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But they came out and tried to pry open the door, found out that it was warped, and apparently it's only caused through heat. And
That makes no
he
sense.
doesn't believe that the warranty's still going to cover it, which is bullshit.
It's going to. Trust me.
Was Alicia in there with her freaking hair dryer or something?
No hair dryer, no heat gun. That's what they said. I could have that could have caused it, but I've never applied heat to it. So
Right.
And you were talking, for those obviously who don't know, Dan was saying his stove needed an LED light replacement, correct? So every time that light burns out, you have to call a technician out there to put a new one in.
well, I've had the appliances for 3 years, and the manufacturer's warranty is only for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of phone calls back and forth to Samsung. Finally got it covered. Like they came out for free to fix the LED. It happens. It's electronics. Electronics go bad, but just
3
the
years,
fact
though,
that
seems quick.
Yeah.
just the fact that the ice maker, the refrigerator, and the stove now
Yeah.
right around the same time are having issues. I still got a dishwasher and a microwave that I hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, no shit.
It wasn't a cheap setup. So
this April will be 3 years for us. So I guess I better keep an eye on mine.
Yeah.
Because we moved in here April 2019. So this March, April will be 3 years since we got all of our Samsung stuff.
It's an LED light. That thing should be lasting longer than 3
Those are
years,
supposed to
unless
last
you have it on
Right.
like every minute of the day.
well, it's the clock.
So it's on all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
it is technically
still.
on every minute of the day.
I thought you meant like inside of.
Yeah, it's the LED lights on the clock. So like you've got with those analog LEDs, the
It's analog.
analog.
Yeah. Come on
Analog.
now.
Poop.
Dumb.
You you got the top LED lines, and then you've got the middle. Like if it's an 8,
Mhm.
you got the whole loop-de-loop. Anyway, the middle one on both the minutes
Mm.
were gone.
Mhm.
So it was hard to really pay attention to what time it was. It was annoying more than anything.
Technology.
I mean, it wasn't gonna hurt the usage of the oven and stove and everything, but when I looked at the clock in the kitchen and I gotta try to decipher
Yeah.
hieroglyphics to see what time it was, it's annoying. But the
Good thing we
biggest
don't have
piece
Apple
is that
Watches and iPhones to
I-
see the time.
Damn you.
I'm not wearing mine today. Where's yours at, Ryan?
Fuck off.
Uh-oh. Ryan, what's new with you?
Not his watch.
As Dan alluded to, after 8 years of wearing my iWatch literally every day, pretty much all day, every day, except for when I sleep, it's no longer with me.
What happened?
I I was putting it on the other day. I had my wrist like face down and I'm buckling it. And I like
COVID
slipped and it went face down right onto the tile in the bathroom and
Ooh,
popped off the face. So now I gotta buy a new one, which I'm not thrilled about.
Not very durable, are they?
You got to get
8 years.
Oh.
8 years every day. I mean, I'm talking like for everything. Like that thing was hit on wall. When I'm building the deck, I'm wearing that thing out there. It's getting beat up. I mean, I got its wear and tear for sure. Like it was heavily used. It just sucks that I mean, I've been putting off buying a new one. I wanted a new one anyways because I've had it for 8 years. So the technology's changed and it's starting to get slow. And
you can't even update that one anymore, can you?
No.
Oh, so you did it on purpose. I got you.
No, trust me, I didn't because I have to pay for it. It's not like it's warranted. I do not want to spend the money for a new one, especially right before we're going on vacation.
So you got to get one
before you did it.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of ordering one before vacation because I hate not having it. It's weird to not have
naked
something on there. We went out somewhere the other day and I put a watch on that didn't even work. The battery didn't work just so I had something on my wrist.
That normal feel.
Yeah, just so I could have something on there. But yeah, outside of that, as you mentioned earlier, we missed the show because I've been having a lot of remodeling done at my house and it's just about done. So the whole banging inside my house all day long, every day while I'm trying to work is almost over. Well, not the banging part, but the noise part. The banging might still happen. But yeah, so that would be cool. Come the next couple months. Once everything's fully done, it'll be nice to do some cookouts and have people over and have more space and stuff. So
with how shitty our winter has been, summer is going to taste extra. It's going to be
this year. Amazing.
Good God. I just, even for golf season, I can't fucking wait.
I'm ready for mini golf.
Ugh.
I got emailed from the boat place that my boat will ship in May. So super pumped about that.
Make sure Jesse shows up for that.
Yeah, for those that have, those of you who were privy to the pre-football season bet that me and Jesse Young from Sports Illustrated made, that if I guessed the Steelers record more accurate than he guessed the Browns record, whoever lost would have to be the other person's boat bitch. Mm-hmm. So since Jesse lost, he's officially my boat bitch. That means when he comes out on the boat, he has to do whatever I want. So get me a towel, make me a drink, whatever I ask of him. So funny enough, he's been very quiet lately, but I'm sure he will at some point want to on the boat, at which point he will be donning a shirt that says boat bitch on it.
Nice.
But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to summer. Looking forward to mini golf. Absolutely. I'm just getting out of winter. We're supposed to have this giant storm coming tonight. Those of you that listen to the show that are in the Northeast Ohio area like us, winter storm Landon.
I hate when they name these fucking things.
Fucking dumb.
What?
Yeah.
Landon?
I don't know where they fucking.
Let's have fun with it. Let's call it a name.
Fucking stupid.
But Landon?
Yeah. If I ever had a kid, I actually wanted to name my kid Landon Caulfield. I don't know, having children. But yeah, so big winter storm supposed to come tonight, so that will give me plenty of time to edit the show and get it out to you guys to listen to tomorrow. Anyhow, fuck off.
I was waiting for Dan to look at me.
Assholes. What are we excited to talk about today? What do we want to start with?
Tell you what, that sports looks pretty good.
You want to do sports? There's some stuff going on in the wide world of sports. We can kick it off with Let's Get Locker Room Talk.
Swung on, line to deep left field. It is. Boom. 45-40. Run, William, run. 20, 15. Iguodala to Curry. Back there.
I want to rename mine too.
Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the.
This is Locker Room Talk.
Sorry, it's Locker Room Talk according to Trump, not Let's Get Locker Room Talk.
Mine's Let's Get Wood.
Ooh, I like it.
Let's get wood.
Locker Room Talk. There is a lot of drama going on with Locker Room Talk this week. I think the biggest thing is going to be Brady.
Yeah.
So the latest and greatest from the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, he's officially retired. Unfortunately, his retirement announcement was stolen from him, and it really fucked up. I mean, who was it? Adam Schefter?
Adam Schefter, ESPN.
Adam Schefter came out and announced it prematurely, and apparently Brady had not officially made his decision.
He didn't have the conversation with
the team.
The Bucks.
He talked with the owner, and he had said that he was kind of leaning that way, but he had said nothing is confirmed yet, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but that means somebody on the inside obviously leaked it.
I wonder if the owner did.
Yeah.
You know,
someone leaked it. But it just sucks. I mean, you got to think you're the greatest football player of all time. This is a retirement that people are dreading, but also like that's something you want to tell yourself.
Yeah.
And then you announce it a couple of days later, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, no shit, we already knew.
Right.
You know, like that's so fucked up.
It takes everything out. It's his big moment that he's been building a whole career toward, and it was really unfair of Schefter to do that. The problem that I have with it, and I think you share it with me, I'm sure Dan does too, is that these news sources anymore, it's just about being first. It's not about being right. It's really just, you know, whoever can get that word out there first. Schefter's made a career out of this.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the big problem with all of this. And the fact is, it blew up in his face. So for 2 days, ESPN had to keep posting on there that we stand by that advisory that Schefter was right. And this is before Brady came out and said, yes, I am retiring. They said, no, we confirmed it. Like, it's for sure. They had that much balls to not let one of their guys look like an idiot.
I actually was wondering that if they were, what the accountability is, you know, could like Brady sue him? I feel like you could, I feel like you could somehow hold them accountable. I mean, for prematurely announcing something like that.
I don't know
that's
legally.
his news.
The problem is this happens all the time when it comes to leaks, like trades and all that get leaked all the time. So if one person's going to sue, everybody's going to sue from now on.
I think if anybody has the rights, Tom Brady.
In this case, I would say sure, because it's his retirement. He should be the only one that announces it.
Yeah. That's like even with all of Ben's like there was lots of speculation around Ben, but nobody said he was retiring. You know, there's a possibility he's going to retire. He might retire.
Yeah.
We didn't officially know until he released his video and said, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
You know, and Tom Brady deserved that same opportunity.
And fuck Tom Brady for stealing the retirement thunder from Ben.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, like with Ben, the last regular season game to me felt like his last game.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I was like, what a perfect way to go out. They give him a standing ovation here at home. He beat the Browns. You know, this is a big moment for him. Yeah. Brady never really had that moment. To me, like the last game of the season of the playoffs for him, when he got smacked for the most part by the Rams, that whole game just felt like a beatdown. It felt like motivation for him to come back next year and avenge that loss.
It's a really good point, because like Ben's built up. Like everyone watched that game as this is Ben's last game.
And he
did his walk around, and he spent his time out there with the fans, and everybody was see you at the Hall of Fame. And like everyone was anticipating it, and it really felt celebrated. And you would think Brady deserves that, which he does
for sure.
But you didn't get that.
Yeah. Well, you're
so weird.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing Ben did is in the weeks leading up to that last home game, he was at like they're asking him, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah.
And he kind of put out there that, you know,
seems like it's
like it kind of preluded to his retirement. And then the second to last game, the home game against the Browns, because the last game was in Baltimore. So.
Right. I bet you if there was talk of Brady's, obviously, before the season ended, it would have been similar. But since it was after they already lost.
Thank you for the correction. I forgot about that Baltimore game. Yeah, the Baltimore though one. To me though, it's different because it's not at home. That home one felt like this is it.
And they thought that was it too. That everybody thought, because there's so much that needed to happen.
So slim of a chance.
And it did.
The playoffs, yeah.
And they got in and got smoked by the Chiefs. But
it just sucks for Brady, man. I would be really upset if it was me. It's just
6th round pick number 199.
Yeah.
Yep.
Comes out to be the best quarterback this world has ever seen.
And I think what I was going to say was some of the best like retirement tours of all time was like Kobe Bryant and Derek Jeter to me.
Yes.
So what they would do is
they celebrated each game.
They announced it a year before. And so every stadium they went to before the game, it was like a ceremony each night. And Tom Brady, if not him, who deserves that? You know, so I feel like, I don't know if it was Schefter that pulled the rug out from under him, if he was going to retire in the first place or what. I feel like we deserved a Tom Brady goodbye tour, even for people that hated him. It's not so much about ego. It's just saying goodbye to the best of all time.
Yes.
You know, some people had inkling that this was his last season, but nobody really knew.
He's always said, what was it? 44, he's ritiring.
Yeah.
Once he turns 44, that's it. He's done.
He wanted 45. He said that last year. He wanted to make the push at 45. 44 is crazy enough.
The respectful thing for him is he puts it out on the line every game.
Yep.
And he said, once you reach that mindset where I can't give it
anymore,
I can't give it 100%, I'm out.
Belong here. Yeah.
I'm at 90% this week. I don't think I can put in 100% next year. So,
Yeah.
some quarterbacks would do that. They'd ride a little bit longer.
Do you guys blame him for that loss, though? To me, I don't. I think that's the defense. That defense played awful all game.
I don't put it on him. I would have honestly, spite or not,
on him because he's the greatest quarterback we've seen.
I would have liked him to come back for one more season and say, "This is my last season."
Yeah,
and do like you said, and do kind of a celebratory type thing, and
one more chance.
Even like this would have been the perfect opportunity for him to have just been like, you know what, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm not retiring yet.
Yeah,
and come back, and who knows what he would do next year, though. I mean, a lot of teams showed up this year, which is wild. So
you get hurt next year too, and it looks even worse.
Yeah,
the Bengals,
wild.
Bengals Super Bowl.
Bengals Rams
looks fun though,
bro. It's gonna be a good game. I'm going Bengals.
You're going them for the win, or
Bengals
you want them
for the
to win?
Bengals for the win. What do you guys think?
At this point, I don't even like making predictions anymore, just because this whole playoff year has been so. This has been the most unpredictable playoffs I've ever seen.
The greatest, like
none of us have any of the teams that we picked in.
No,
the games have been amazing.
Yeah,
in this playoffs.
What do you think, Dan? Who do you want to win, and who do you think will win?
I want the Bengals to win.
I think the Bengals are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that their defense and the way Burrow is playing.
Bro, he's playing great, man.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah. He came out hungry, man. After being injured and out, came back to prove himself.
What's that tell you? Cincinnati's been the laughing joke pretty much of that division.
I picked them last this year too.
Yeah.
And in our preseason picks, I picked Cincinnati last.
Yep.
And they're killing it. So I think Cincinnati's going to win it. I'd like to see the Rams because buddy of mine, Prinzo, he's a Rams fan. And I'd like to see him get one.
The reason I go with Cincinnati, obviously, like I'm a fan of teams that have never won at all, minus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I'm a Mariners fan. I'm a Suns fan. So I like seeing those new teams finally get over the top. It gives me faith that maybe there's a chance this could happen someday.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's a different matchup. It's like a lot of times in the major sports or professional sports, you see the same teams over and over, back to back, year after year, and it's nice when things change up.
That's football.
And what a flop this year, what a change up to not have the Chiefs back.
Well, I mean, the
have a
preseason Super Bowl champions, Cleveland Browns, didn't even sniff the playoffs.
Their boy OBJ did. Their boy OBJ is riding it all the way to the end, man.
And I like how every Browns fan's trying to justify that now. They're like, well, the Bengals are in there. Yeah, we beat them twice. I'm like, yeah, but they're in the Super Bowl.
You didn't make Super Bowls. It's completely irrelevant.
You know what I do when they say that? I'm like, yeah, you beat the Bengals twice and the Steelers beat you twice. So
and you didn't make it to the playoffs. It's really irrelevant. But the Browns love to live in stuff that happened in the past.
What was it? Joe Burrow tweeted out to the Ohio State fans.
Yes, don't claim me.
Stop claiming me.
Yeah, it's not your team, man. No, you guys fucking made him a bench player for two different quarterbacks.
And he went to LSU, and
good for him.
He's a Tiger.
Championship.
Is that where OBJ went?
Yes.
So people were saying the reason he was on that poster is because they both went to LSU.
Oh,
which I didn't know that, so I wouldn't have thought anything.
I guess that makes sense now.
Yeah, like a battle of LSU.
Stafford wasn't even on that poster. I was like,
or was it two players who didn't play last year?
Yeah, that too. I thought it was interesting to put him on there. I mean, like a lot of people said on my post, like OBJ's a diva. He's a media frenzy. People like to talk about him. He draws attention, so I get him being on there. But it's the Super Bowl, man. Like highlight either more than just two players, or highlight really the stars of your team. Like to not have Cup on there. Or Stafford, since it's both the quarterbacks. Like he's just a weird. But the LSU thing, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's weird.
Aaron Donald, dude, you got one of the best defensive players in all of football on your team.
What a weird.
Second to Watt.
I would agree. Yes.
Did they officially announce that yet? When does that come out?
It'll be the night before the Super Bowl. They do the NFL awards.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. He's winning it, right?
Yeah, I think Watt wins. Yeah, I think Watt wins. I think obviously Parsons is going to be defensive rookie of the year. But beyond that, I'm a little in the dark with some of these.
Yeah,
Brady or Rodgers will win MVP, one or the other.
Oh, that's going to be a tough one, actually. Oof. I'm curious to see if Rodgers decides to stay with the Pack.
Oh, I hope not.
There's a lot of places he could go now.
There's a lot of places.
Tampa Bay,
Denver, or Pitt is my opinion.
Please go to
Denver.
Denver. Yeah, I could see Denver. Maybe
it's gonna be Denver.
Yeah, I could see Denver. But sticking with NFL news and kind of shitty stuff. Dolphins. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores came out in a statement. He's suing the NFL 3 teams. He's suing Dolphins, New York, I think,
Giants, and the other one's a weird one too. It was like it didn't make sense to me.
He has a lawsuit though. He's suing through 3 teams, and in his lawsuit or in his announcement of this, he came out and said that the ownership of the Dolphins, in 2019, they were offering him $100,000 per game that he threw.
Keep in mind, he's a black coach.
Yeah, throw these games and help us up our opportunity in the draft. And so he came out and announced this, and other people are coming out in support and saying that he did. You guys were talking about something with Belichick, but I didn't follow or know what's going on. What was his involvement in this?
So basically, before the New York Giants job went to Brian Dable, who is a guy under Belichick's watch a few years back. Belichick text messaged Brian Flores on accident, thought he was texting Brian Dable because it came up as Brian in his phone.
Got it.
He texted Brian Dable before this announcement even went live to say, congratulations on the job. You know, we're happy for you and all that. And Brian Flores, who's supposed to interview and meet with the Giants about this job, he gets this text out of nowhere and he goes, I haven't gotten the job yet. I meet with them this Thursday.
So he hadn't even interviewed yet, and they gave it to somebody else.
So then he finds that out, and you know, he goes, yeah, it's not me. Are you meaning to talk to Brian Dable? And he goes, yeah. Because I read the text, it's online.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Man. So he didn't even get a chance. He didn't even get a chance to interview.
Rooney Rule, dude.
That's such bullshit.
Every single year. Yep. That's why I said for as good as the intention was at the Rooney Rule, there's a lot of backlash to it too.
Yeah. That's so shitty.
Yeah.
So there's this going around about Dolphins, and we were kind of talking offline before the show, and my thoughts were kind of like, what, you know, if they prove this to be true, which I'm sure he's got some kind of note, I don't know, texts or phone calls and right, whatever.
You have to have something right.
What happens? You know, do they lose draft picks in the future? They get like a big fine as the team. Like what do you charge a team with at that point for throwing games? My
opinion is all of the above, and then whoever made the bribe to begin with, they're fired immediately.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I think
if you're the owner, can they fire the owner of a team?
Yeah, they can take him out. Yeah. So the same thing happened in the NBA with Denver's owner Stan Kroenke at the time, because him and then the Clippers owner have both gotten busted for racism, making racist remarks and all that, and the league stepped right in and they took him out.
Yep. You think the NFL would do that? The NFL lets a lot of shit slide. I feel like
force them to sell a team.
Yeah. I mean, they could basically give him the ultimatum on that, or pursue like legal action further. Say, hey, either give it up or we're taking you to highest court possible.
Do we know who they ended up getting in 2020 for a draft? Did they end up having a shitty season and getting a high draft pick in 2020?
Yeah. So, God,
that player could just be like, fuck this, I don't want to be on this team anymore.
The receiver from Bama, what's his name? They're big, Jalen Waddle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL. Trust me, as someone that's had him on the fantasy team, that's a good get.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think that's just shitty. Like, look, I know it sucks sometimes. You got those super teams that just dominate every year, but you're a professional athlete. You go out there and you try to win every game regardless. Throwing games is such bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we've joked about it. We were joking about it with the Lions this year. We're like, man, they got to be throwing these games. How are they almost winning and then blowing it? You know, it's like almost like they have to be throwing the game. But it's just super shitty.
The strange thing, and the thing that is kind of the bigger controversy about all this too, is that he lost his job after 1 year as the Dolphins head coach. And to me,
because he didn't throw the games, maybe.
I'm guessing so, because the thing is, while they didn't start off great at 1-6, they ended out by winning 5 of their last 6 games, just like they did the year before. So to me, this is one of these teams that clearly starts cold and then gets hot as the season progresses. I don't feel like Flores. I think he deserved another year personally.
One season's not a lot.
It's not. No, Browns give their coaches 3 years, and you're talking guys that are 1-15. Hugh Jackson got 3 years in Cleveland.
Did you hear about his accusations too?
Yeah, you go. Why don't you go ahead?
So I saw this earlier, but I didn't read into it. But apparently, Hugh Jackson was making claims that Haslam told him to lose on purpose.
Yeah.
For funds.
Yeah.
But obviously the Browns front office is speaking out against it. They said it's all fabricated, but they're
going to lose their job if they don't.
But like, okay, so if you're a coach, I mean, what does he have in making that up?
A 336-1 record.
Are you asking what's his motivation?
Yeah,
for
is it
making
just
I'm not a losing coach.
No, is it to try and justify that he wasn't that bad of a coach?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, he's 1-31 as this.
I hope if my thing, I guess if you make an accusation like that, I hope you've got proof to back it. Otherwise, you just look like a chump, and you already look like you already look like a chump anyways because you were like the worst coach ever.
Yeah.
And then to make that accusation and lie about it, you're just fucking yourself, man.
I'll say this about Cleveland. While I don't know if I believe him or not, there's a lot of proof on that field that team was bad. I mean, like, they had some talent in places too. Like, it's like there's no reason they should be 0-16 or 1-15 and all that.
Agreed.
Like, they had talent. So to me, I'm like, on accident, teams win 3 games a year. Like, just complete. Like the Lions won 3 games this year.
Right.
It happened. People forget that.
Yeah.
How do the Browns lose? They win 1 game in 2 years. That seems kind of fishy to
it's
me.
definitely iffy for sure. And honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised with the Browns to try and get something out of it and
butts in the seats.
Yeah.
And a lot of the losses too were close games.
Yep.
Like they were fighting, but just came up 2 points short.
They just conveniently fuck up. They
miss
fumble
that field goal
or miss a field goal. I mean, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And make it not seem that noticeable, you know.
Have you ever seen Blue Chips?
Yeah.
So that scene where Nick Nolte goes back and he watches tape of Tony and he finally starts seeing the things that he did,
the
on
little
purpose.
things, the patterns.
He gets so pissed. I look at that with this case too.
Yep. It'd be interesting to see. I'm curious to see what comes of it. I mean, one, just for the accountability of the owner and the team, and then also because it kind of shines a light on if this was true and, you know, maybe coach was going against it, that's why he got let go.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother fucking case in itself. So,
and he's going to coach Grambling now. He's got the job of fixing Grambling State, which was once a football institution.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's always so weird to me. Go from college, from the NFL to teaching a college team.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
So yeah, we had that going on. And then apparently Chris will have to roll this one for us because I don't follow baseball too much. But apparently there's some news. We talked about the strike when it first got announced.
You want to keep it in the NFL category before we jump to that?
Oh yeah, good call, Dan. I was just going in order.
What else? We got?
What else do we got for the NFL?
Washington, new Washington football team's name.
Could they just kept it Washington football team?
I
liked it.
It was so long. You might as well like
WFT.
Yeah.
Close enough to what the fuck?
It's fine. I loved it. Are they gonna? So what's the new name?
The Commanders.
Are they changing colors and stuff like that?
No, the colors are
good
the same.
because I like the color scheme. I like that.
The maroon and yellow.
Man, that's a stupid name. What the fucking Guardians, Commanders, whack ass teams.
Yeah, I
don't love it.
To me, I don't know. It almost seems like they had 2 years to come up with a name, and this just feels like one just to create it for the hell of it.
It's like they threw it and it's stuck on the wall, and they're like, okay.
Yeah,
they had better options.
Oh, far
because we
better.
talked about there was other options, and this was not the one we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, generals and senators and all that kind of thing. Yeah, like
admirals.
Admirals.
I like admirals.
Yeah. Admirals. Yeah. I don't know, man. Commanders. It's just so on the nose and obvious for Washington D.C. It's. I don't know.
It just sounds lame to me. It just doesn't sound like a fun name. What do you make your logo? Like, what's your logo going to be?
That's a good question. I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't
a C.
know. Yeah, it's gonna look like the fucking block C.
That awful Indian C.
It's fucking stupid.
I don't know, man. And I think it sets you up for like if you lose a game, like it sets you up to be trashed left and right. Commanders. I mean, come on.
You ain't commanding shit.
Yeah.
Commanding the losses.
Yeah.
I honestly wish they would have just kept football team. I liked it. Thought it was simple and it just worked and whatever.
Can we make it a club? Football club?
That's cool too. Washington Football Club. I'd be
Yeah.
down with that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a lot better than Commanders.
Commander sucks. I don't like it. So yeah, that was the other NFL thing I saw.
All right.
Whoops.
Now we can do
sorry. And then baseball. Yeah. So as I said, I don't really follow baseball news that much. I enjoy the pastime of baseball and watching it at the stadiums and things, but outside of that, that's about it. But Chris has got some news for us.
So the arbitration deal has been on the table for the players since the end of last season.
Yeah.
And they thought originally that this was going to be a deal that would be signed, no problem. It was going to get the players basically more rights, more advertising, ownership basically over their own products. So it's turning out that month after month is passing by and these owners aren't budging on that deal. You know, they have their hands in the cookie jar and they're keeping it in and a tighter grip on those cookies inside. So basically we're here in February now. Spring training starts in March and they have pretty much all but confirmed that spring training is not going to happen this year. Now, this doesn't sound like a big deal to the typical baseball fan out there, but let me replay it for you in NFL circumstances. So they cut down the preseason of the NFL last year from 4 games to 2. And what happened? Injuries spiked twice as much. There was less workout time, less conditioning time. This will be the same thing for baseball, which is a longer sport, 162 games a year, unnecessarily long. They've said for years that, you know, they've talked about getting it down to 100 games. I honestly think 80 games is fine.
What's the NBA?
82.
Oh, damn. Even the NBA seems like it's a lot.
Baseball
is a lot of games.
The thing with the NBA, though, it's like it's spanned out. So, like, a typical NBA team, the Suns play usually 2 or 3 times a week. Baseball, man, you're playing every night.
3 games in a row.
Yeah,
and then you have a day off and then 2 games in a row.
It's such an endurance
you don't have that day
test.
off. Sometimes it's like 10 straight.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt like the NBA had more. I mean, it's crazy to think about in comparison to baseball, how many games they play.
Yeah. So many.
162. So
that's crazy.
So
have you ever seen an NBA doubleheader? A team play a doubleheader?
No.
But you see it a lot in baseball.
I see the point you're making. Yeah, I was
why is that? I mean, I guess it's not as physical of the game. I mean, because if you're in the outfield, a lot of times you're just fucking standing there. The pitcher, the catcher, and then whoever's batting. I mean, otherwise, there's not a lot going on.
A lot more downtime. In basketball, it's constantly go.
Run. And football is very aggressive. So baseball is the least physically enduring.
Yes.
So maybe that's why they can justify it, but still, that's a long fucking time.
It is. And I mean, so to take that off there, you know, not only is that going to have an effect, but your team, the chemistry between them, like opening day this year, if it happens for the regular season, man, you are going to have some bad games out there on opening day. And that's not good for your product because opening day is typically when the most casual fans tune in. So like everybody loves an opening day. Even if you're not a baseball fan, people will usually tune in. You got the free week preview on DirecTV there that they show the first week of games for free. So it's not good to kind of present this product right out of the gate. So I honestly think my opinion on this, the long run, I don't know if the whole season's going to be canceled, but I see a good half of this season being down the toilet.
Yeah.
I think what they do is maybe because they're supposed to meet again in March. I think if they don't strike a deal there, your next opportunity is not going to be until July.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have July, August, September, maybe as a possible season, maybe 60 games like they had that first COVID year. And we go to the playoffs. It sucks for a fan like me, though, a Mariner fan who we just picked up the best pitcher in baseball, the Cy Young winner, and we're going to waste a year doing this bullshit. This is why people are frustrated with baseball, though, because there's no salary cap like there is in football, and millionaires become billionaires overnight, and money rules the game. Yeah. And the thing with baseball is the biggest inferiority to them is they have never been able to create superstars like football and basketball have. So name me 3 baseball players right now, if you can. Current ones.
Current?
Yes. I don't want classic. Current.
No fucking clue.
Vlad Jr. That's about all I got.
I have no idea. Who's he play for?
Angels.
Dan's like, I don't know. I just heard the name at some point.
You're talking Guerrero? Well, I mean, now you probably will be. I just gave you that spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I ain't got a.
That's one player between 2 people.
I have no idea.
You put me on the spot.
Yeah.
But you should. I mean, you'd say name a football player, you rattle off 25.
Yeah.
I can tell you who the most popular baseball player in the world is right now, and you'll look at me like I just
Aaron Judge?
Nope. Kinmu Otani. Of the Angels.
Yeah.
Pitcher. Yep.
Pitcher and amazing hitter.
Yeah, he can do it all. But that's my point. They don't create superstars, and this is why the league is going down the toilet.
Not anymore. Like I feel like they used to, though.
Yeah.
I mean, think about baseball. God, we're old. Baseball 20 years ago, you know, and think about the players that were playing then. You know, when you had Ken Griffey and you had Bell and Kenny Lofton and Cal Ripken and all them. You know, Frank Thomas.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah. I mean, there was big names, but it's not really anymore. I don't know if baseball is kind of baseball's lost its luster or what, you know.
Speaking of which, that's bullshit too.
Omar Vizquel, like all those big names, you know, Ramirez. And I don't know if maybe we just cared more then. so we knew the names, but like I don't think you hear about it as much.
Is Sabathia still playing?
No.
Oh, yes, CC Spath. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
A couple years ago, he retired.
I mean, the big names we knew were like Kluber.
Yeah.
Again, the pitchers are mainly
Hafner.
the ones you're going to hear about.
Yeah, he's still
Travis
playing.
Hafner. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
And even more strange baseball news, Dan kind of alluded to there. The Hall of Fame just cast this coming year's class. And for the last time, Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds were on the ballot. Neither one of them made it.
Barry Bonds did not make the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Steroids.
The cheating scandal.
Oh, that makes sense.
So what's your guys' perspective on this? So like, to me, you're busted for probably the most indecent aspect of the game. You cheated. Do you think you belong in the Hall of Fame or not?
No, you're a cheater. I mean, you takes away any earnings that you had at that point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more out there that are doing steroids than you think.
I think so too. I think it's
agree,
naive to
but-
look the other way for so many players to
Yeah.
think that this league is pure.
Yeah.
My argument, and trust me, I hate Barry Bonds. I am his least fan in the world. My argument for the whole thing is that while I think you can put an asterisk toward his home run count, he's the all-time home run leader.
Right.
I don't think you can put an asterisk next to his career. Because to me, the man was still going out there and he was putting everything into it every day. He cheated. He got caught cheating for sure. But how long was that going on? Was that a percentage of his career? Was that the later years when he needed a kick to get over the
I think
age
so.
hump?
But how much did that enhance his overall play?
Right. That's the question. That's
You know,
and that's a
later-
good question. It's a fair one. I just think to have a baseball Hall of Fame and not have Roger
know.
Clemens and Barry
I know.
Bonds, arguably like the greatest hitter ever, one of the top 10 greatest pitchers ever. That how can you write a baseball book without that as chapters?
It's wild.
I
mean, yeah, it's like you said. I mean, they'll be talked about, but they'll always have that story with their name.
So
you know?
what somebody said, I saw. I don't know, the Red Sox or whoever should sign Roger Clemens to a 1-year deal or a 1-game deal
I saw this
and reset
the
his
time
Hall of Fame clock.
because if he retires, he gets it all over again. Yeah. That's a creative idea. Ooh, he's got cards. Ryan pulled out some baseball cards.
See
for
if we
those
know any
listening.
of these. See if we know any of these players.
So those are your
man.
Indians collection or those are actual?
This is all baseball cards, man.
Wish I still had my cards.
Nolan
Look at
Ryan. Dude,
these.
Yeah.
I got boxes and boxes of cards
Remember
that
the
aren't
Beckett's?
worth anything.
Bernie Williams,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Yankees.
Yankees.
Dwayne Hosey.
Mm-mm.
What about Tim Wallach?
No.
Royals?
Tim Wallach was Angels.
Oh, Angels.
I'm trying to find any names that we actually might know. Gary DiSarcina.
DiSarcina.
Yeah, DiSarcina.
Oh, I know. I do know him, but I can't remember. Florida, maybe.
DiSarcina was the Angels as well.
Damn.
These are wild. This was such a thing, man. Some of these are real old. I got a Cal Ripken.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Mike Maddox.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could say Braves. You could say
This is a Padre, San Diego Padres.
Damn, that's a young
Greg
card.
Maddox.
Oh, yeah.
Manny Ramirez. Man, look at him.
Manny.
Look at Manny.
Is that Indians?
Yeah. Good. He's young. These are all in like mint condition too. These are old. I remember
he
worth
played-
any money.
He played for
Is
the
that
Arrows.
Dennis Eckersley?
Daryl Strawberry.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Daryl Eckersley.
Eckersley's a good one too.
Yeah, man. Cal Ripken Jr.
Yep. Where'd you get
Sheesh.
those? You just collect them when
These
you
are
were a
all
kid?
mine from when I was
Billy-
a kid, man.
Billy Ripken?
Billy
Don't forget
Ripken.
about.
I wonder if they're worth any money. Jeff Shaw.
they're not.
Eric King. Kirby Puckett. Remember Kirby Puckett?
Kirby
Oh,
Puckett.
yeah.
Wow.
Don't
Brady Anderson.
Don't tell me if you have a Griffey one, it'll end up missing.
I probably do, honestly, man.
I have that tops Curry Puckett.
I collected these for a long time.
Didn't he go blind in his eye, in left eye?
Yep.
Jay
Hit the game-winning
Bell.
home run though. That's in the World Series. That's special.
Hideo Nomo.
Hideo.
Yeah,
Hideo
Dodgers.
Nomo.
Dodgers.
Yep.
Greatest Japanese pitcher of all time.
Crazy windup.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where it went all the way back like that.
Almost touched his heels.
Bernie Williams.
That's my point though. You don't have
Man.
superstars like that today.
Albert Bell. Look at that.
Oh God, watch your kids. Tell them to not trick or treat.
Is that Paul? Is that Paul O'Neill?
Yeah.
Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like, do kids collect? Like, is this a thing anymore?
Oh, it's a thing, but it's not about collecting.
It's trying to
It's
make
about the money.
Cash. Yeah.
But like this, I mean, I used to have binders of these, and we would sit around and like we would all get together and we would sit around and trade our cards.
Yeah,
Like,
me
we'd
too.
lay them all
take
out
'em-
and try and trade players.
take
and
'em
we'd
to
go
the
to
mall.
the shows.
Me
And
too. I used to love the
It's
3-for-1
weird, man.
deals. Like I always had to give up 3 players
Yeah.
for Griffey.
You talked about the Beckett's. You'd open up a Beckett and you'd
Yeah.
see common card 5 cents. You're like, ah.
Yeah, you look at just all these cents, and then you see one card that's like $1,000.
You're like, where's my, I don't know, my Dennis Eckersley 128, 124, 126, 129. Damn it, it's a
just
common.
skips right over it. And you bought the whole pack. Where the fuck is it?
yeah,
Oh,
I've got
Mike
some good
Piazza.
ones.
I had this score set that I had a big ass Mike Piazza card
Oh
in
man,
it.
from the Dodgers to the Mets.
Deion Sanders.
Oh yeah, Reds.
Deion
Braves?
Sanders. This is
It should be red.
San Francisco.
Deion Sanders played for San Francisco.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is 1996, Pinnacle 1996.
Oh yeah. Probably coming off the Niners too, because he was playing football at the same time.
I've got a bunch of them in like screw cases. I've got some like Nolan Ryans and like I used to love Lofton. So I've got like 8 or 9
Oh, he's
Loftons
my-
in the hard shell cases.
Stole all those bases.
Bro.
Yeah, Kenny was a G.
Yeah. So baseball news. So I don't know. Where do we see it ending at? Do you think they're going to get what they want?
I think you get a half a season out of this. I do think finally a deal will be met, but it's not going to be anytime soon. You're definitely not going to get a 162 game season. And I honestly think that's going to provide some reflection time. I think people are going to look at it and see how well a season will do at 60 or 80 games and go, you know what? We're losing money, but at the same time, like it's easier on our players. It's easier to put together 80 games instead of 162.
Yeah.
Let's think about it for future reference.
And like for the fans too, when you've got 82 home games,
Yeah.
like there's not like a reason to go to those as often,
Mm-mm.
you know?
Season tickets are crazy in baseball. Football, you get what, 8 games, 9 games now.
But I'm just saying, like, the fans will be like, I'm not really feeling like going to the game today. I'll go next week.
Yeah.
Because there's another game. There's another home stand that they can go see. So the crowds aren't as big.
No,
And they're like
especially the team. Mariners
Cleveland.
never sell out.
Cleveland, what was it 95, 6, 7? The sellouts
Yeah.
for those teams
3
were
years in a row.
insane.
Mhm.
Actually, I think they had more than that, but you don't get that anymore.
No.
Like you go to the stadium and all those nosebleed seats are covered up in storage lockers.
For as much talk that happens about hockey, how many people put hockey on the back burner, I'm surprised that baseball doesn't get put in a similar light, because to me, baseball's dying. It's dying a slow death.
It really is.
Yeah. I think football and basketball are still in good shape, but I think baseball is dying.
Who's that right there?
Oh, is that his dad? Yeah.
Griffey.
Oh, nice.
Grandpa Griffey.
Yeah.
Got Sandy Alomar. Sandy Alomar Jr. Yeah. So I don't know. I agree with that. I mean, because baseball was like the thing for the longest time. I mean, that was like, I mean, it's America's pastime. It's what everyone did. And it's losing the hype. They got to do something to get it more exciting and get people more people out there.
That's why they have more gimmicks now. Like the All-Star game has become a complete gimmick. So whoever wins the All-Star game, whether it's the AL or the NL, they have home field advantage no matter what. So you could be that team that limps in. You could be that basically Cincinnati Bengals, the 4 seed who limps into the World Series, and you have home field because players that weren't even on your team won the All-Star game for you.
Yep.
Whatever.
Stupid.
So
The one thing I do like about the MLB All-Star game is those guys weren't out there to show off.
no.
Pitchers came in, they pitched their inning,
Yeah.
and they tried to throw the best that they could. It's up to the hitters that game to be great.
Yeah.
The pitchers will always be great.
Well, the game
As a
feels
hitter.
competitive, unlike the other two. Basketball, there's no defense in that game whatsoever. It's just a scoring spectacular.
And
Football, it's just guys laughing.
it's flag football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
but that's it just for baseball. I mean, nothing big, but I just think the Bonds and Clemens thing, man, I don't know. If they're going to hold out on Pete Rose for as long as they have since the 70s for gambling, I don't see it looking good for Bonds or Clemens.
I don't think they'll get in ever.
Frank Thomas there, huh?
Thomas.
Mr. Cialis himself.
93, man. That's wild. That's just
Where's
crazy.
Doug?
these
You got
are-
Doug Flutie,
They
Wow.
both have trouble
Eugenics.
getting their wiener up.
eugenics
Guys,
commercial.
Leave them alone. Is that Mark Guthrie? Mark Guthrie.
I don't know who that
Remember
is.
him from Moneyball?
Oh, Oakland. Yeah.
Mark Guthrie. Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's all we got for sports for you guys.
It's
What do you want to do?
Baseball
What do you want
player
to do
from
next?
a movie.
Let's go to
Mark Guthrie?
Hollywood.
Well, it's based on a true story.
I know, but
Have you ever seen Moneyball?
I've seen parts. I haven't seen
Oh,
all.
it's
Oh
so
my
good.
God, you have to watch Moneyball.
Dude, Moneyball
Yeah.
is one of the greatest movies. Like, not even just sports. I fucking love that
That was
movie.
my number 2 that year it came out.
Yeah, fantastic movie. You guys want to talk Let's Get Social or Hollywood next? Hollywood next?
Yep.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! Two, Steve, assemble!
It is time for Hollywood. Or what were we calling it now? The Wood?
We're calling
Got Wood
Let's Get
Report.
Wood.
Let's get Wood.
Yeah.
Welcome to Let's Get Wood with Christopher the Film Freak Kessinger.
Let's get Holly.
What's new, bud? What's going on in the wide world of movies and stuff?
$3.6 billion. What could you guys do with $3.6 billion?
Absolutely nothing, because I would never see that amount of money in my life.
Okay.
I don't 3.6 mil?
Bill.
Mhm.
Bill? With a B?
B. Billion.
3.6 billion. I would probably buy Bungie.
Great answer.
I'm kidding.
Because
I don't know what I would do with that, but what would you do with 3.6 billion?
what would I do? I'd probably make the most elaborate proposal to Haley Steinfeld that I could find.
3.6 billion, bro. Just think how much money in zeros that is.
Oh god.
I mean, a charity, buy some nice things, donate to a lot of charities,
you can buy a
and then
planet.
do a lot of
Buy the
charitable
moon?
work because you wouldn't have to work. I would do a lot of volunteering and stuff.
Let's be honest. $2 million is more than you'll ever need
Bro.
probably for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
And 3 billion is nothing. I mean, fucking Elon Musk is worth like 150 billion.
Yeah, you should end world hunger.
He could. He really.
Okay.
That's fucking wild. Anyways, we're getting
All
off
right.
topic.
You want to be one of those guys, huh? LeBron James should buy
LeBron.
Rolling Acres.
So who's doing something with $3 billion?
Well, funny enough, you were clairvoyant there for a second. Bungie received $3.6 billion as a result of Sony, specifically PlayStation, buying their company or buying some of their properties.
What a huge fuck up
Yeah.
by Microsoft.
Yeah.
That is so
Competition.
Are we going to get a Sony? Are you going to get a Sony Halo now?
I don't know.
They're saying that Bungie's still going to run as an independent subsidiary,
Yes.
but that they're going to collaborate with PlayStation more.
So
Just on,
probably
like,
a lot
future
of
games and stuff.
cross-platforming.
Yeah, that is the words they used. Yeah.
I'm up for it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a PlayStation, sure. I mean, because they've been it's been all Microsoft going, in the past.
So what's that Horizon? What's that other movie game that Bungie?
I mean, the big one is Halo.
Yeah,
I know they.
There's
do
another one
stuff,
that is cross-platform. I think.
And this comes on the heels of that Halo trailer being released. Was that a TV
They're
show
doing
that's
that
coming
TV
out?
show on
Yeah,
Paramount.
Yeah. What did you guys think about that? How did it look?
It actually looks pretty decent. Like
Yeah.
I was nervous. I'm still nervous. But like
Testing.
production wise, the trailer and stuff, it actually looks like it could be pretty cool.
Mhm.
If what they've shown is reality for the show, I think it'll be pretty solid. I'm looking forward to it.
Does it follow a particular arc? I've never played the Halo games.
I don't know what storyline they're going on.
I don't know either.
They haven't revealed enough for that, but just visually, the Master Chief outfits and the production quality of it looks pretty decent.
Okay.
I was really expecting it to be like real cheesy, but
Like,
it
the
looks
world
fairly
is
good.
like massive.
Yeah.
Like they've done. It looks like they've done a good job. Now,
Scope.
will
Yeah.
the acting hold up and will
Right.
the storyline flow and all that stuff yet to be determined? But I'm excited for. I've wanted to see a live action Halo
for a
very long time.
And this is the benefit with like more streaming options now. So like now you can have a video game property and it can just be a TV show. So it can grow naturally. Like the stories can unravel naturally. Everything can feel good and not compressed like they do in a 90-minute movie. This could be a good thing and it could open the doors for other properties to go this route. I certainly think video games lend themselves more to TV shows rather than movies anyway.
Yeah.
Personally, especially like if you have something like Zelda, I've always wanted to see a show and not a movie. I don't think you could put Zelda into a movie. But I digress. Transitioning from the video game world. We're going to go to Hollywood with a big feud that is taking over the screen right now, and that is Jesse's boy, Kanye West, versus Pete Davidson, who is every woman's boy. Pete Davidson recently started dating Kim Kardashian, who is obviously Kanye's ex. Kanye, who himself is currently dating Julia Fox from Uncut Gems, has made life hell for Pete. Recently coming out with a track in the lyrics, he says Pete Davidson has AIDS. Is this childish? Does this feel like it's warranted? It's obvious that Kanye's wanted Kim back. This feels like bad play, though, when you're on the heels of a new relationship with Julia Fox.
Well, yeah, if you've got a new girlfriend at this point, so you seem like a fucking douchebag.
Yeah,
because you're fucking dwelling over your ex. When
it's the mother of his kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, you look like a douche, and also she left you.
Yeah,
you think she's never gonna date someone again?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Kanye though. It's gonna get fucking views and listens, and that's what he does.
Motivation for a song.
Yeah, I think it's silly.
Hey, Taylor Swift does it.
Oh God,
it's very true.
Get me started.
Yeah, I mean, Pete will probably put out something. Mm-hmm. He'll put out a diss track too, and it'll be hilarious.
But it's Pete Davidson.
Yeah, right.
I still don't understand it with this guy. This guy has like the golden dick, man. I don't get it. Like the names are flawless, amazing. These big names that he's gotten with, and no offense, like I will straight up tell you when a guy is good looking, Pete Davidson is the ugliest fucking guy I've ever seen.
Girls like a guy that can make them laugh. Girls,
that is bullshit.
Looks is important, but I truly believe that it's Pete as the personality, because I agree with you. I will absolutely tell you if a guy is good looking, and he's not. He's not like someone you're swooning.
And I don't even think he's that funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow him that much.
And I watch SNL. I think he's one of my least favorite cast members, honestly. There's nothing he does that ever really cracks a smile.
Do you think it's just a fuck you from Kim? And like it's not gonna last, and like she's just like fuck you, I'm gonna date this fucking nerdy ass white dude.
I don't think it's gonna last anyway from his perspective. All his relationships are always 3 months or less.
But like, you think that this is like, of all the people that she could have dated, I mean, you're Kim Kardashian. You can pretty much date whoever the fuck you want. Pete Davidson, really?
He's the rebound guy.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like a fuck you to Kanye. Like, I'm going to make you look like a chump. Look at this nerdy ass white dude.
Then he should be calling her out.
That replay. Of course. But he's trying to get her. Is it true he moved across the street from her?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's fucking creepy.
Yeah. And he says it's a move to keep their families closer, but that's, dude, come on.
You're rich as fuck.
Without moving into the same house.
Right.
I mean, there's always that in a relationship. I mean, people do that.
Stop crying on our front lawn. We're trying to have sex.
He's not all there, bro. That dude, he's been off the handle for a while.
Yeah, he needs to learn how to make sweatshirts that are the right size.
Oh, no, dude, the shoes are worse. The shoes are fucking bad, man. And I'm not even a shoe guy.
Depends on the shoes.
I'm an amateur talking to Michael Jordans when it comes to shoes.
Depends on the shoes.
The shoes are fucking awful, man.
It just depends on the model.
Bro,
I agree with you to a point.
It took a while for me. Dan will attest. I thought that all of his shoes were awful. And then there's a couple, not all of them. There are some that
show me.
There are still awful pairs of Kanye shoes. But there's a couple that it took me a little while to appreciate them. And now I'm like, I would wear those. But I don't know. 60% of them are like, what the fuck are you fucking doing, bro?
You guys are hiding these 40% somewhere.
I'll show them to you.
Yeah, Dan's got plenty.
I think it's childish, though. I think the whole thing, honestly, just forget about it. Dude, in my opinion, and you guys will probably disagree with me here, Julia Fox is a finer honey.
Well,
in my opinion, I know Kardashian's got the ass, but Julia Fox has got that ass, man. Like you got Julia Fox. Nobody else should be existing in that world. Like nobody even shows up as a fly on your windshield.
Yeah.
Okay.
He definitely got the better end of the deal between who's dating who at this point.
I'm kind of excited to see his album. Donda 2 is coming out this month.
Yeah, that's
end of this month.
And they released a couple of tracks already. Like he's performed them live or around LA and places like that. The word on the street is that it's a solid return to form.
That's what we've been wanting from him, though.
Yeah, you hear that about a lot of Kanye albums. Like the last few have kind of said that. I guess I'll wait and see.
Yeah,
sure. His best to me has always been his first 2 albums. That's always been my personal favorite. College Dropout and Graduation, I think, was the other one. But we'll see. Speaking of music, the Rock Hall nominees came out today, the list of the 2022 nominees. And we've got some surprising names on there for sure that is definitely going to make you feel old like myself. I'm going to just read these out one by one. We'll kind of go through them all, see if any of these strike your guys' fancy.
Strike my fancy.
Beck.
I like Beck.
Yeah. Where It's At and Loser, tracks like that. This is one of those that kind of made me feel old for sure, because I remember listening to him in the 90s when I was a teenager, and now he's on the Rock Hall list.
Wild.
Yeah. Pat Benatar.
I mean, I know her music. I wouldn't like turn it on to fucking like rock out to it by any means. Guitar Hero, maybe.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Yeah, maybe on Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Kate Bush.
Don't know Kate Bush.
Underground, kind of like a soul singer almost.
You know Kate Bush?
No.
I don't know who that is. Did you know who that
Kate
is?
Bush?
I do know who Kate Bush is. She's did like Running Up That Hill, that Placebo song.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't make it.
She won't get in. Devo, Akron's own.
Devo.
Yeah. Duran Duran, who I've always been a fan of.
Duran's good.
I feel like this is long overdue. They've been on the list for a couple of years now, and Duran needs to get voted in. I think they only have 2 more times that they can be selected.
Man, if they don't get in, something's wrong with the US.
Yeah.
Right. Fuck them.
They don't like Australians. I'm going to skip this one for now. Eurythmics is the next one. Obviously Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
No,
Sweet Dreams are made of these.
Oh, I never knew the name.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson song he took from the Eurythmics.
I thought it was a Marilyn Manson song. Whoops.
We know our music here on this show.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, Eurythmics, Annie Lennox, and I don't know the other guy. Judas Priest.
Yeah, Judas Priest is good.
Rob Halford. I feel like this one's kind of long overdue too. They have to be coming up on their last one.
Yeah, I would imagine. What's the time frame?
It's usually you have 5 chances to get in. So 5 years is your.
What at what point are you eligible to be nominated? Do you have to like no longer be active?
It's
or like,
20 years after your first album, I think.
Got it.
Which for one of these nominees, I'm going to read last. It doesn't make sense because their first album was a little earlier. Yeah, we'll get there. I don't know this one. Fela Kuti.
I've heard that name.
Okay.
I definitely have heard that name. I wonder what they sing. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
I've heard that name before.
Spelled Kuti, last name. MC5.
MC5.
New York Dolls, punk band, underground on the New York scene. They won't get in. Dolly Parton.
No.
Dolly Parton.
Who's that?
Big Boobs McGee.
Wow. That's a weird one, man.
If they get her in, it's just going to be a bust of her breasts.
That's going to be a bust.
This one got nominated last year. It didn't make it. Back on the list. Rage Against the Machine. Got to go in one of these years, man.
I think Rage deserves it. I think Rage deserves to be in there.
I was fine with them not being a first ballot Hall of Fame. I would say a second or third, though, for sure.
Yeah.
They made such an impact. Lionel Richie.
Yeah. Was he on last year?
Yeah.
Was he last year as well?
Yeah, this is his 4th, actually.
Yeah, he deserves to be in at some point.
Carly Simon. Kind of like
I know her, but
pop singer from the 80s, early 80s, late 70s.
Don't know that one.
Tribe Called Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely deserve it.
I think that might be your hip hop flavor for this year. Maybe Tribe Called Quest gets in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick.
I know the name.
Keep shining.
There's not any. I know that we have one left, but out of those names, there's not anything that's like mind blowing. Rage, yeah. Lionel Richie, definitely.
Rage, Tribe Called Quest,
Tribe
and
Quest
Judas Priest are the ones I feel like need to go in now.
Yeah.
Maybe Dolly Parton for the female side of it.
Dolly Parton, bro.
I would say Dolly's the best out of those options.
Dollywood.
So funny.
Change this.
Huh?
Dollywood report.
If she gets in.
I got
in celebration of Dolly Parton.
I got Dollywood right now.
Oh, whoa. Hey-o.
And the last name.
What's the last one?
I intentionally skipped. It is a candy. Eminem.
He's a. You think he's a first round?
Yes.
He's a first round.
Yes, he's going in this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's nobody on that list who even comes close. And you've got some big names, but there's nobody that even comes close to the legacy that Eminem has had.
Yeah,
one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah, but now these are 20 years.
Would be your hip hop flavor.
It's got to be including his like mixtapes, not his actual full released albums.
Maybe it's 25. I don't know.
No, 25 is too long.
22. That 97. That's about right. 98 was when he hit.
True, yeah.
97, he was an underground rapper. So that is when his
I
career
guess
started.
that's right.
Yeah. I think it's 25 years.
Eminem.
You guys agree, though?
God.
Eminem gets in, right?
Oh, it's a first round, no doubt.
Cheers, my 20-year anniversary. I'm not going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do they have something planned?
Yeah. I gotta get on.
You better RSVP that.
I don't want to go.
You should go.
Where's it at?
I'll go.
I don't know.
Oh,
I definitely think he should go.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody except for your one friend on Facebook would say that Eminem doesn't deserve to be in. Who said that? Guy that you've been arguing with about the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I think with the exception to him, nobody would deny that Eminem has earned the right to be in the Hall of Fame.
You need a white. Yeah, I would say I listed 5 last year, and of those 5 that I listed on the show, 4 out of the 5 got in. My 5 this year, I would say Eminem for sure. Rage Against the Machine, I'm going to say this time, even though I could see it going to a third for them. Tribe Called Quest will get on this one. Dolly Parton will get the female vote. And Judas Priest.
No Devo. You think Devo makes it? You think they've earned it? Are they big outside of Akron?
That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's my problem. They had a little window in the 80s, like 83, 84. But man, it was very brief.
I think Devo's a big name to us, but I don't think anybody else gives a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think they make it in.
They were very experimental. Like they influenced a lot of bands, but like I don't think that gets them in. Honestly, 5 times is very slim.
Yeah. Speaking of the Rock Hall, they're moving the thing to California next year.
Oh, the ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably just for travel and all that, I would imagine.
It's going to be in Los Angeles.
Cleveland just didn't impress, I guess.
it's in fucking Cleveland though. Like, how are you going to have the
Such a
ceremony
disappointment.
somewhere else?
I know. Well, we'll put the plaques there months later. Don't worry.
They thought going to the Q or Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse,
Yeah.
like they thought that was just temporary. I mean, it is. It's just trying to push it further and further away from the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I don't know, man. Yeah, like they did the New York thing for a couple years too. Like they would have the ceremony there, and obviously the Hall of Fame's still here. I'm fine renting out different places. Like do LA one year, do New York one year, do Cleveland one year. But
yeah,
you better not even
rotate
think about
it.
moving that fucking.
Yeah, I guess that's
location.
True. There are like other big music cities that you could like could do it in Atlanta one year or something.
Memphis has a big.
But yeah, I agree. As long as they don't try and move the actual Cleveland is the rock and roll city. It's got to stay here.
I agree.
You can still do the ceremony somewhere else.
I think they can get a bigger audience doing it somewhere else.
Oh,
or
for
Cleveland.
sure.
So I don't blame them.
They're gonna pack that.
I just hope they do it like they did this year with the online or streaming.
Oh yeah, you guys all watched on HBO. I still never
HBO,
watched.
Yeah,
it was fun.
That was awesome. I loved it.
The Jay-Z speech I thought was really cool too by Chappelle.
Jay-Z.
Awesome. Yeah, they had a solid class last year. I don't think this class is going to match that.
It doesn't seem as exciting.
Yeah, I would watch it for Eminem or Rage. Like those are 2 that really speak out for me. But other than that, I think I'd probably fast forward everything else.
When's the induction?
It's usually, oh God, when was that? They showed that was that August when they aired that? Because it's over the summer when they do that.
I don't remember.
God, it seems like forever ago.
It's never live. They air it like weeks after it's gone live. I think it's late summer though. That's what
It'd be like months if Ryan was editing.
Y'all can fuck off.
I'm going to transition on to my next
We've got
topic.
a Patreon link in all the show descriptions. If you'd like to afford us someone that can edit the shows every week, please.
Where's my dollar? There it is.
That's the first $1 ever. Just stay up there.
Moving on.
Fuckers.
We spoke about big deals earlier between PlayStation and what was that company? Bungie. This one, Netflix has made a deal to up their subscription cost. This time raising it from $150 to $15.49 for the standard plan. The basic plan will be $1 to $99.99.
Did you know you could still get DVDs from them?
No,
it's still a plan that you can choose.
Still rent those.
You can still have them mail you DVDs.
How do you even do that?
I looked at it the other day. It's an option in the plan, and you can choose like 2 discs at a time, 1 disc at a time, and they still actually do it.
Oh my God!
Yeah, because I was looking at the plan changes with the fucking pricing changes, and I went into like look at manage your subscription, and it's still a choice.
I wouldn't even trust delivery drivers unless I rode along with them.
You used to do it all the time, man.
Should I get it?
I did. Yeah,
There it is.
I did the Netflix ones.
Saturday, I got an email from Netflix
to tell you to fuck
Cost
yourself.
of your plan has changed. This change takes effect Saturday, February 26th.
So here's the question I had. What's the difference between the standard and the basic plan?
You can use multiple devices is the difference. So like you can have like one device at a time. And then if you try and log into another one, it'll kick you off.
So if you're welching off your friends.
Yeah, you can't pull a Jesse and mooch off your dad. You actually have to get your own.
And he kicked me off here, motherfucker.
So yeah, they've got like multiple streaming devices or one device at a time type thing.
Okay.
So they're saying big changes. Exciting news coming with Netflix, which is why we have to raise the price.
Yeah, what's that?
Get better movies.
I don't know. And if it's not, can I ask them to take it back down?
If I didn't agree to this.
Well, and they said that the main reason behind this was their stock price rose. It rose up 4% Friday.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
So they're
so charge us more because their stock price is going up.
Well, they're trying to make up more. They're trying to get to black ink for the first time ever in their life. It's been red.
Yeah.
Though every year after year. If you see Netflix's finances, it will
fine.
blow your mind. Like how this company is still.
They're just
alive.
writing off bullshit. They're writing shit off. There's no way that they look at all the money they spend making all these shows.
Yeah,
they've got money.
That's what I'm saying.
They got money. They just got a good accountant. Is what they got. They got Trump's accountant.
But yeah, I mean, what is there a limit for you guys as far as like how high you'll go for Netflix? Is it one of the better streaming services still?
It's one of the ones I use the most.
Mm.
And the thing is they do it right. They raise it every couple years by like $1.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's no big deal. But I used to pay $10 a month.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what my limit will be to stop because Netflix is the streaming service I'm on the most.
Okay.
And every time it changes, I honestly don't bat an eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh, whatever. It's another $1 a month. No big deal. But like if it gets to 30, 40 bucks, there's no way.
Is that still
There's
good
no way
for
I'm
you?
going to pay that.
No.
There's no way.
Right. So what I do is I look at the streaming service that I use and compare that to what the DirecTV cost
Mm-hmm.
that I was paying. How like if it's everything starts to add up to get to that, that's when I'll make a change one way or another. But it is still a fraction of the cost of what DirecTV and cable charges. So it's like Ryan said, they do it like $1 here, 95 cents. Like Disney Plus is probably going to raise their prices.
Oh, for sure.
So I mean, I get it.
So I was wrong.
But
I was wrong, Chris. Go ahead.
you can't do the DVDs.
No, the different pricing points is the streaming quality. So you can pay $9.99 a month and it's 480p. You can pay $15.50 a month for 1080, or what I have is $17.99 a month, and that gets you the 4K.
Oh God, I gotta.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta upgrade mine now too because I just want the 4K.
You don't have the 4K? What have you
No,
been
I
doing
got
all this
standard.
time? Yeah.
Got the standard.
So I have Netflix too. I have the ones I have are Netflix, HBO. I have Peacock still. I'm gonna get rid of that soon. And Amazon Prime. So those are the four I have. Of those four, I would say Netflix is my second favorite. HBO is still top dog.
HBO is great.
HBO, their content, documentaries, everything can't be beat.
Yeah.
But as far as this price, does not bother me. I actually may or may not share an account with a certain listener of this show. So we will discuss it all, at that time. But
Allegedly,
my personal opinion is that $20 is probably my wall. HBO, I would go higher because I feel like HBO is really worth it. Netflix to me, while there's like the Stranger Things is good, you have the occasional show here and there. Cobra Kai is great. To me, the movie library is almost kind of lacking. Like I wish they would almost keep some of these films on there longer. I hate their window of kicking them off.
I wonder I wonder if it's in their terms of service anywhere. Like how often you can subscribe and cancel. It's like maybe you just want to have it be it because of Stranger Things. So you sign up for Stranger Things and then you cancel it.
I don't see what's wrong with it. You pay the bill.
Like I wonder how often you can do that. Because you remember like when these streaming things first came out, it was kind of the way for someone to break away from like us all being locked to cable.
Yeah.
Everyone was paying $150 a month to have fucking Time Warner or Spectrum or whatever,
What a pain in the ass.
When streaming came out, I was like, this is great. I don't have to pay that anymore. I'll sign up for Netflix. I can watch movies and TVs on there and it's $20, we'll say. But now, like you said, I've got Netflix. I've got Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I've got HBO. I've got Hulu. I've got Amazon.
Apple TV.
I've got Apple TV. I think I have all of them. Literally, I think I have all of them but Peacock. It's no cheaper anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you're still paying it now. Now it's just you have to get. We talked about this, and I said it. Eventually, everyone's gonna have their own individualized streaming.
Yeah.
And you're no longer gonna have an option.
I remember that conversation.
It's gonna come out that if you want to watch Universal movies, there's gonna be a Universal app
specifically.
For Universal based movies.
Yep.
And that's where we're heading.
And I don't think that's good. I think your point was that perspective too, is that you didn't support that when it happened.
I think ultimately you end up losing out on it. People can't afford or don't want to pay to have 7 streaming services. And then I always run into the issue of, I can't remember what show's on which fucking channel.
Yeah.
I'll be watching a show and I'll be like, shit, which streaming service was I on when I was watching that? And then you got to go online, you got to search what fucking channel or show was this playing on, you know?
I kind of did that for Pam and Tommy today because I thought it was on Prime for some reason, but then I figured out it was on Hulu, which I don't have. So I had to go online and actually check it out that way.
You want to know one of my biggest discrepancies with your favorite streaming HBO?
Okay.
Is if you're watching a show and you want to go back to watch that show, if you click on where you were watching, it doesn't give you the option to view all of the episodes. It just clicks on and lets you watch right where you're at.
You're right.
Where you have to actually go search for the show and re-find it to go to all the episodes and start over. Where if you're on Netflix, on mine, I don't have an option. So like I was watching Peacemaker and I wanted to restart episode 2 over. Or no, it was on episode 2.
You're about to take mine too.
I had fallen asleep. I was watching 1 and it went to episode 2 and I wanted to go back and watch 1. So like what you're currently watching is right at the top. So I clicked on it. And it goes right into 2, and I want to go back to 1, but like whereas Netflix, you can see you hit the little eye, or even when you're within the episode at the bottom of the tray, it says all episode info, and you can see all of them and then choose. With HBO, you actually have to search for the show, and then it will show you all of them. It doesn't do it within your continue playing.
I agree with that. Go
mine
ahead.
doesn't. Anyway,
you
do it on your phone?
No, I did. Well, I was on the iPad. I was doing it on the iPad, I do it on the TV, but I can go back. Like if it starts playing, because that was what was happening with Westworld. Yeah, because I kept falling asleep to that fucking go.
Yeah,
season 3 sucked.
And I would have to go back. So I'd hit on that main launch screen.
Mm-hmm.
It'll start playing it, and all I do is hit back, hit the back button, and it takes me back to like the episode screen description. And then you could drop down into the seasons and episodes.
Okay.
You mentioned one thing. You kind of hinted on it, but you didn't go all the way. My problem with HBO is that, so if you click on something, say I'm watching Moneyball, okay, and I'm like, I got halfway through it and I fell asleep one night. Next day I wake up and I'm like, I want to watch Moneyball, but I want to start from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Instead of, at least from what I've seen, I have not found a button where it says start from the beginning.
Yeah, you just got to drag
it. I have to fucking rewind it all the way. That's a big problem to me. Yeah. Netflix, it's always, do you want to start from the beginning or do you want to resume where you left off?
Netflix is the most user friendly as far as interface.
Great way to put it.
Their interface is set up well. The options are all in one place where you can easily find them. You're not trying to navigate to find how to rewind it, or how to find the last episode. The worst one, fucking Amazon. Amazon Prime is the worst interface. I fucking hate it. It has so much stuff going on because it's got all their buy shit, free shit. It's all mixed together.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. I hate the Amazon setup.
I remember
HBO's is really clean, and I love the click noises.
Oh yeah.
I love the haptics of the HBO app.
But that's part of it though. That's part of their marketing.
Good.
They
love it.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prime, I remember having a problem reading like the numbers too, like when it's rewinding or fast forwarding, it's almost like you almost go too far every time, or you fucking rewind too far.
Amazon's one of the richest companies in the world, and their interfacing is it's just awful. It looks bad. It's just not set up good.
I think their
website's
outdated.
Is beautiful. Even their website,
yeah.
HBO's is beautiful, and Netflix is easiest to use.
Yeah.
Hulu is just like anything else. I mean, it's just normal
on the phone. You're right.
It's different, right?
Yeah. A lot easier to navigate on a iPad or TV.
Yeah, that's my opinion. I mean, I'm fine with this Netflix. I'll stick with them. Obviously I'm going to get rid of Peacock though soon because Peacock sucks.
I only want Peacock for The Office, but I'm like, I don't want to subscribe just to watch The Office.
Get it for The Office, and then fucking when you're done watching.
But I've watched it a million times. That's the thing. I've already seen it. It's not like I'm going to sign up for it to watch something new.
Yeah.
I only wanted to watch The Office over and over and over again because I just love that show. But I don't want to pay $12 a month just to turn The Office on occasionally. It's just stupid. I wish that would never got sold or changed.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
Oh,
The Office.
Heyo.
Nightmare Alley. It's just added.
Oh,
to
I saw that. Yeah, I almost watched it last night.
It's good.
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it yet, but
What's it on?
I
It's
want to
really
see it.
It's really good.
What's it on?
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, they added it yesterday. When there's a new month, I always love that because I scroll through all the new shit. Like I watched 21 and Over yesterday. It's a raunchy comedy that
I like those.
Miles Teller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta watch Nobody.
Nobody's.
Nobody is really good.
I own that one.
Yeah, it's for me, like I could go on and on with Peacock. My problems with them, like as a wrestling fan, they have the WWE library there. They fucked that up so bad. It's like me telling you wouldn't even believe what they've done with it. They should have kept the WWE network as its own separate thing to merge with Peacock. I understand it's a money decision, but it was a bad one.
Who operates that?
What?
Where did they come out of? Peacock.
Peacock is NBC.
NBC. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Peacock's not just some new. I mean, all these new streamings are popping up. But
Yeah.
you have to have backing to be able to secure all of these entities. So
Because NBC now owns a major corporate structure of WWE's wrestling. So like they air on WWE networks, on USA, which is owned by NBC.
yeah,
Sci-Fi Channel is also owned by NBC. So yeah.
fucking streaming, man.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's going to get convoluted. So moving on, what would the year of 2022 be without a little air of tragedy? And for our money over the last couple of weeks, we've had two more to add to the pile. This time in the form of Meatloaf, the famous rock and roll singer, 74 years old, died of COVID, was documented as unvaccinated, passed away with heart failure due to COVID. What did you guys have? Any memories with Meatloaf? Any experiences?
Bad out of hell.
Nobody likes antibiotics in their meat.
That's a great way to put it.
He is great. He was good. I mean, he's a
Mashed
legend.
potatoes won't taste the same.
That's true.
He is a legend as far as a musician goes. Obviously, it's sad to hear of his passing.
74.
Well, I mean, he lived a long, good life.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty good.
cassette, the Bad Out of Hell cassette. I remember playing that, sticking that
cover.
Oh god!
And Meatloaf has the best album covers, in my opinion.
And I got that album for Christmas this year.
Really?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah,
On vinyl?
yeah.
Oh, I bet that sounds good.
I haven't played it yet. I got to play it now. I forgot about it.
Oh, man,
I mean, it's in my thing, but I got like 5 vinyls.
time to have me over and watch you guys play fucking Wii games or whatever the hell that was, and I'll sit there and listen to Meatloaf.
All right,
Crystal
choose
put
your
on
words a little
Beatles.
bit better.
Heyo.
Play with your Wii's.
Play with your Wii-Wiis.
Yeah, it's that one kind of sucked.
It seems like it's
But
gonna become a more common thing. I mean, we're getting older, and
Our
people that
idols
we
are
grew
dying.
up listening to and watching.
Yeah.
I mean, we were kids when they were our age.
Yeah.
So it's only natural. It's sad.
I thought about that the other day. I'm like, man, I'm 3 years away from being what's considered middle-aged.
It's wild, right?
And I'm like, so if I'm middle-aged, what are my idols?
yeah,
You know?
it's sad.
Ugh.
And like, what's the thing is, it's
Like
crazy to think
a
about. It's
year.
like, who's replacing them? You know, like, I mean, we've
I
talked about it
know.
on here, like the big stars and stuff. There's not really like
Music
names.
is so different right now
Yeah.
that it's.
I mean,
Do
big
you think
box
it's-
office names,
do you
big
think-
musicians
Do
names.
you think it's because of the accessibility now?
I think so too. And I think it has a lot to do too with marketing as well. Like this goes back to the baseball problem again. So like rock and roll was a lot easier to market in the 70s and the 80s. You know, for one, there was less avenues, which made it more universal in response. So like if they were showing on one TV, everybody was watching it.
Yeah.
Like if you had Meatloaf performing on NBC, everybody saw it that night because there's only 5 other fucking channels.
Right.
These days I almost feel like too much content kind of soils it. This is
agree.
both in the music itself, but also in the documentation of it. Too many channels, too many outlets, you know, so fans have too many options,
Yeah.
which can also be a problem in getting their personalities over.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I hope
a
that
lot.
makes sense.
No,
Yeah.
it does. It does make sense. It's like we were talking about before with the shows. It's like you can't remember what's where because there's so many options now.
Very convoluted.
Same thing with music and stuff. So
Yeah. In addition to Meatloaf, though, Louis Anderson, famous stand-up comic, also died at 68 in his Vegas home. It is an unknown cause as of right now. They're leaning toward possible heart failure as well, though. Louis Anderson was kind of a bigger guy. Anybody who I think his most familiar instance was Coming to America. He was obviously the McDowell's mopper or the fry cook. Man, last year I mopped. This year I'm on fries. Next year I'm taking over the burgers, and that's when the big bucks start rolling in.
What was that clown show that was on? And he was playing, what's his name's mom?
Oh, it was on FX.
I can't remember what it was now.
It was another stand-up comic. Was the main character?
It's Alan.
Know.
Who?
Alan from Hangover.
Zach Galifianakis.
Galifianakis, yeah.
It's one word. I can't remember what it's called.
I have no idea.
It's black and white.
No, it's color. It's a
Well, the advertisements were in black and white.
yeah. No, it's a normal
Color. I don't know. That's sad.
Maybe I'm colorblind.
We're getting quite a list going now.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
quick off the year.
First month.
Yeah.
I mean, Betty White. We talked
5
about a few
big names
on this show. The first month has been brutal already of this year. Looking forward to tomorrow. See what else it brings.
Michael Williams, who passed away.
Oh yeah,
we don't have to talk too much about it, but I just saw it right before the show. Is that they're charging 4 people with his death, four or 5 people with his death, or contribution to his death with the drugs or something that he was on, being spiked or cut with something that caused him to overdose or something like that.
What a great talent, man. I always said if you ever made a DMX movie on his life, Michael Williams is who I would have cast.
Absolutely.
baskets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Baskets. Never saw it, but I saw the advertisements. They were always in black and white.
Baskets.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael K. Williams, what a talent, man.
Yeah, that's real sad. I mean, I'm glad they're holding the people accountable, though. I don't know how they obtain the information they did to be able to prosecute, but
Investigations, man.
but
Yeah.
good, man. I mean, so often there's these celebrity overdoses, and what did they ever say? What happened with Saget?
I was gonna
No.
ask
Was it drugs?
No, as far
That
as
was my first. I mean, sadly, that's when it's celebrities and they're fairly young and stuff.
they
He
said
wasn't
no foul
young.
play. No
Yeah.
foul play. His body hasn't come back though yet.
It's got to have been an overdose, I bet.
Yeah.
He passed away. It's not coming back.
He's gone. But his body's gonna come back. We gotta bury it.
Oh,
We got 2 more things. First thing I want to get into of these 2 is there's a new show out on HBO Max, and it is called Peacemaker. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is based off of the character from The Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad, not to be confused there. The James Gunn iteration of The Suicide Squad, which was a pretty big hit last summer. The show picks up right after that film with the character played by John Cena recovering out of the hospital after a near-death experience at the end of that movie. I wanted to talk about this a little bit with you guys. Have we all caught up at this point?
How many episodes are there?
There's 4, but there's 8 overall.
I've only watched 3, but I really don't care. We can talk about it openly.
Okay, there's not many spoilers in the
Really?
4th anyway.
I thought I was caught up, but I've only watched 3.
So I want Dan to kind of start this discussion. I always kind of talk with Dan about the show back and forth, and
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know John Cena could be that funny.
he's got great timing.
Like it's
He's
perfect.
good. I like him.
He's the best super, or what would you call him?
He's a vigilante.
Vigilante anti-hero.
He's not a hero, and he leans more toward a villain, but
Awesome.
yeah,
He does a great job. Plays a great character.
yeah.
The supporting cast I think is awesome too. They did a good job with this.
Yeah.
Overall.
Speaking of vigilante,
Vigilante.
my favorite character.
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's like puts it out there, says what he needs to say,
he's James
does what he
Gunn.
needs to do,
Yeah,
and just I'm here to kill people, basically. That episode where he takes out the butterflies
oh yeah,
because John Cena Peacemaker couldn't shoot kids.
yeah.
I'm spoiling it. I don't care if
He
you
has-
guys haven't seen it yet.
He has.
Oh no, go ahead.
He should have seen that by
Well, I
now.
know.
Yeah,
I'm just
you're-
like listeners if they haven't
Oh, it's
seen it yet.
spoilers.
He just walks up
Just
to. What is
Give me
it?
the gun.
He
Step
plays.
aside.
Yeah, he just steps aside or something. Doesn't he say something to the kid or something like at first, and then just fucking blows his head off out of nowhere?
It's great.
Yeah. Timing's great.
That intro too is
Oh,
So
yeah.
goofy.
probably Ryan was comparing it to the end of
Hawkeye,
the post-credit scene. And I'm like, you can't even compare it because they're
Fucking
trying to be something serious
stupid.
with that one. And this was like, these characters don't give a fuck. They're here to have fun. They're doing this little dance, acting like robots.
I agree, and that was one of the things I hated about Hawkeye. Yeah.
and then I flipped this on and I watched that. I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
The dance number when was it her? I'm trying to think of her name, the girl,
The blonde.
Yeah, Harcourt.
Yeah.
She when she comes out of the door, just arms out.
Stupid.
Like, she does not. She looks like she does not want to do it, but she's doing it.
She's
It's
always
great.
such a sourpuss too, man. That's
I
what
love her character.
Oh yeah, and she works
And
well
she's
with
starting
Cena.
she's starting to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Brian, what do you think in your experience?
From what I've seen so far, I love it. This is actually this is kind of a hot take because it's the complete opposite of my take on Suicide Squad, which I hated. But also when it comes to the whole DC versus Marvel always steals the show, production wise, story wise. It's always a lot more well done.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing with Peacemaker is what I wanted from the Marvel TV series.
Interesting.
This looks really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Visually, it's very appealing. It looks professional. I like the length of the episodes. This is a great show.
I like that take.
And I liked the Marvel ones, but like I had said with Hawkeye, it felt very just lower production. Like it felt TV.
Okay.
This feels movie quality. Like this feels really good.
It's that mature rating. Like,
yeah,
and I think
it being
helps.
HBO helps, not being Disney. I think that's a big difference.
And it's the same director from the Suicide Squad, which is James Gunn. So you have that visual continuity kind of carrying over.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it a lot. I've watched episode 1 twice because I was like watching it and then fell asleep, and it's just weird. But Cena does such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
The character he portrays, he does it very well. It's like goofy and fun. Like it's serious, but it's a comedy. I think they're doing a great job with it. I'd like to see more from HBO to tie into these types of shows because they're killing it.
Yeah, for sure. I love it so far. Like 4 episodes. Obviously, we're halfway through the first season. Peacemaker was probably one of my 2 favorite characters from the Suicide Squad. So for him to get a show, I was pumped about this, and it didn't disappoint at all. For one, James Gunn is littered everywhere throughout this show. It's everywhere in the personality. He is very much one of those writers and directors who does not give a fuck. He is so un-PC, and whatever he says, his commentary littered throughout the movie is always going to be in your face, and whether you get it or not doesn't matter. He's the one that's going to be laughing at the end of the day, and I love that about this. This really does feel like almost a show that took place in the early 2000s. Because of that, like we were un-PC at that point, not so much today, which I love. It allows it to stand out better than anywhere else. John Cena is perfect for this role. Aside from his physical attributes, which I mean, the dude's literally coming through the shirt, like muscles stacked on his neck.
Yeah.
It's really more of his acting prowess that takes over this movie, or that takes over the show. His comedic timing is perfect, as Dan kind of alluded to. But beyond that, he also shows a lot of heart in the character and a lot of empathy, like as opposed to the Suicide Squad, where he was kind of this unstoppable machine. Here, there's very much feelings to the character, and he bleeds and he hurts underneath. And I like that about this show because it also has something to say when it comes to its material. There's very much a sharp commentary that if you blink, you might miss it, but on toxic masculinity that's underneath there. Certainly the relationship between Peacemaker and his father is one thing that sticks out, played by the T-1000 himself, Robert Patrick. But it kind of shows on that whole, guy's fear of crying or showing weakness or pain and all that. And when he's alone, he's doing those things. He's writing in a journal, or he's crying on his bed, out of nowhere.
I think that's very telling of John Cena as a person too.
Yeah.
I think it attributes very well to who he is.
Perfect casting in that regard too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certainly. As far as the other characters around John Cena, solid too. I feel like not only is this group growing as a family, which was kind of how the Suicide Squad was shaped too. Like these bunch of misfits just kind of came together and became a family by the end of this thing. This too is doing that, but it's doing it in ways where I feel like more time and more attention is being paid to certain attributes of every character. Obviously we have the as you said, Harcourt, she's got to past herself when it comes to this job, and how it's kind of worn on her psyche. And she gets the impression that she's very capable of doing what she does, but she's very sick and tired of it. Same goes for a lot of these guys too. The one played by the Orange is the New Black girl, I can't remember her character name now.
Yeah, I forget.
But there's a lot of time and attention paid to her characterization. She's obviously lesbian in the show, which leads to some jokes on its own.
She's never killed a person.
Which is
until
this.
Well, her full like intro in like when they first meet, and she's like all amped up and like talking about all the people and stuff. I'm like, she seems very like very kiddish and like I don't know too much about her character or anything yet, but
she's never mind. I don't want to.
No, you're good. I don't know.
And of course, Vigilante is my favorite character far and away.
Yeah.
Everything that he does, like when he tries to break into the prison and get some input from Peacemaker's father, everything he does, this guy's a bumbling idiot, but he's nothing if not fearless, man. And my hat's off to him. It's his mysteriousness and his ambiguity that I think makes him all the more appealing.
I just like the way he went about to getting into person.
Yeah. And then how he's changing his voice, but it's not really changing. He's like, we know you're Vigilante.
Is it the guy from Deadpool that plays him?
No.
Okay.
Are you thinking TJ Miller?
His guy plays Deadpool's friend.
Bartender friend. No. It's not TJ Miller.
No.
I don't know why I thought that's who it was the same person.
But yeah, I like the show. As far as weaknesses go, I can't really nail one down. I'm kind of with Ryan on the production. It's nothing that's like extraordinary for a show, but I think it's solid enough. It's visually continuous of that James Gunn style that he inflicted on the Suicide Squad. So after 4 episodes, I don't really have a weakness. I guess I would just say certain aspects are predictable, I guess I could say, because I did call the one guy being part of the Butterfly when they said he was emotionless. I was like, well, yeah, we know where that's going.
Yeah.
That's like nitpicking. Those are small details that are nothings, but solid right now. I highly recommend it. Did you guys want to point out anything else? Closing points?
I'm just imagining some of the scenes, and it's funny. They're hilarious. The
great replay value too.
It does. I got a terrible memory, but
you left out one of the best characters, Eagly.
Oh,
Eagly.
Yeah.
That's so funny when he fucking hugs him. I'm always like,
dude, and it's obviously a special effect.
It's fantastic.
But it shows the eyes. It's got emotion. The sounds behind it too. You're like, oh,
his
man.
little wings.
When he's feeding the butterfly, and then the
fucking thing flies away.
And Eagly's looking at him like, you gonna feed me? And then he flies away, grabs the thing, and
drops a raccoon or whatever the fuck that was.
That was crazy.
It's real off the wall. It's very Suicide Squad. Yeah. And some of the things I didn't love about the movie, I actually enjoy about that.
So go back and watch the movie.
In the movie, I didn't love his character.
Okay,
but it's so well done in the show, and there's so much more to it that gives the backstory to him that it's enjoyable.
So that answers my question. Is that what you contribute to liking this more though than the movie? Is that you feel like more time is spent on those aspects?
Because you have a better understanding of him. I knew nothing about his character when the Suicide Squad came out.
And that's why I always say that shows are better for introductions than movies are, because movies are so compressed. You only have so much time.
Yeah.
But I loved in Suicide Squad how the unexpected hit you right at the beginning. All the people you knew of,
the chaos,
even people like Boomerang, who was a big part of the first movie, dead in seconds. Yeah.
What do you rate this overall so far?
I'm giving it a solid 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where's it stack against the Marvel?
I would say, are we counting the Netflix series too?
Just the 4 Netflix series.
The 4 Netflix series.
So Hawkeye, Loki,
Disney Plus series, you mean?
Oh, so you're doing the Disney.
Yeah.
So just the recent Disney Plus.
For its comparable TV versions of Marvel, where do you rank this?
I like it more than WandaVision. I really do.
I think I said to you when we watched the first 3 episodes, I'm like, dude, this is what I want Marvel to be.
Yeah.
This is what
DC could be. This is what everyone wants from DC.
Mm-hmm.
To get it in a TV show is working. They just got to be able to bigger scale it.
It's,
continue it.
It's gritty. It's R-rated. It's in your
fun.
face, and I love it. Has a personality that rarely ever fails. Most of the jokes I laugh at.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's very well. I think I like it more than all the Disney Plus ones.
I agree,
and I think that, like Dan said, the mature rating, being on HBO, it's appealing to the audience that these shows were meant for.
Yeah,
and it's really shining. If they could translate that to the big screen, DC would have a lot more for themselves.
I think this. I think having Gunn at the helm on this
big time
is gonna help.
This would not work, I don't think, without him.
It's gonna help for other
properties to do the same, or future
DC
adaptations.
Yeah,
it's good.
There's a lot out there. There's a lot that can be done. Like, I didn't know about Peacemaker until the
movie.
Suicide Squad.
I knew of him. I knew he was in that group, but like I didn't know. I never read that comic, so I didn't really care.
I crossed the line at a Polka Dot Man show.
Oh yeah, the Mr. Polka Dot.
Dude, he's dangerous.
His mom.
Fucking stupid.
And then when I heard John Cena was playing him in the movie, I was on board right away, because honestly, to me, I've seen probably 4 or 5 John Cena movies now, comedies, and I feel like he's usually the best part.
Dude, the Vacation with Friends movie with him.
Oh yeah, Vacation Friends. Dude, he's the best part of that movie.
So funny.
Yeah.
He just got the right personality.
Yeah.
Like he really just like playing himself, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like just that fun going, like goofy dude.
Well, and the
It's
contrast
hilarious.
is it's this big guy, this lovable lughead, and you see this guy who could kill you at any second with one finger, and he's just sitting there going like, "Hey man, let's smoke a weed, or let's do a bong."
So funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Vacation Friends?
No.
You have to watch Vacation Friends.
All right.
It's really good.
You got Hulu?
Yeah, bro, it's funny.
Okay.
I watched it a little bit after you had reviewed it, and I fucking loved it.
One of my biggest surprises of the year. I was like, I didn't give it a necessarily high grade. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10, but I was like, it's got great rewatchability to it. Yeah.
Didn't Cena go on Fallon in his full Peacemaker?
Yeah. He's doing it everywhere. Like red carpet, he was in it, like the helmet, everything.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just and as a villain or anti-hero or whatever, when he shows up to the meeting wearing the first episode, where he shows up wearing the uniform and the helmet
or whatever with it. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing, man?
I just love it.
He's not hiding whatsoever.
No.
It's so funny to me.
My favorite line is, I think it's in episode 3. He's talking with the annoying neighbor who comes over and has to fucking stick his nose in everything. And he goes like, well, Batman's got a chain of criminals or whatever. And he's like, yeah, so do I. He's like, well, where are your chain of criminals? You want to know where my chain of criminals are? 6 feet under fucking ground. He's like, you know what Batman does? He fights with people that are dressed as clowns, and then he fucking puts them away in jail so they can get out and kill more people. I'm like, he's right. I mean,
man,
that's always been my problem with Batman.
It's so good.
Yeah. But do you guys mirror my 9 out of 10? Or?
Oh yeah, it's up there.
It's like a 9.5 for
9.5,
me.
yeah.
I even the intro, man.
Yeah.
I'm sold on the intro.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
It's a great show.
It's a
watch
very
it.
good show.
You have to watch it.
Highly recommended.
Absolutely.
You will laugh.
We're gonna wrap this up with the weekend box office.
Wrap it.
It's been 2 weeks, obviously, since we've been on, so maybe some things have changed on this list. Looking at it, we have one new name on here, and I'm appalled that this movie even made it. But we'll talk about that in a second. Some names that dropped off of the list here. Obviously, Ghostbusters Afterlife in the 2 weeks has finally fallen off the top 5, but $128 million to its take tells me that there is definitely going to be another movie.
So good.
So getting into the top 5 at number 5 this week, blowing my mind how this movie is still on this top 5 after 6 weeks, $33 million. You might as well say 34. The Kingsman, number 5, still going strong.
The crazy thing is on there that long and it's only made that little amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, it's inching by a little bit enough each week that it stays on that list.
Just goes to show what box office hits are in January.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're not pretty. There's one on this list that we're going to get to, but besides that, January has
Clifford 2?
No, that was back in fucking October or September. And
no, Clifford 2. There's a sequel.
Fuck no. If there is, I'm not reviewing it. I got my movies tomorrow. Number 4, this is the movie I'm appalled at. This is the worst movie that I have seen this year so far, and that is Redeeming Love. Made in $1.7 million this week, bringing its total to just over $6 million in 2 weeks.
Is it going to go up with Valentine's Day?
2 weeks. I actually think it might be out of theaters by then.
Good.
Because looking at it, the theater list is dropping significantly. It's now down to 1,600 theaters. By next week, you're probably going to look at a quarter of that dropping off. So probably 1,200 again. I don't think it'll make it. I honestly don't. I think it's out of the top 5 after this week anyway, with Jackass and Moonfall coming up. I think you're going to make room for those 2 spots in the top 5.
Sorry, Dan, you have to do something different for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because I definitely
really want to see that.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't recommend that fucking movie. Ooh. Number 3, Sing 2 made another $4.6 million. This one's been on for 6 weeks itself. $134 million for its sequel. Sing movies have an audience, even if that's kids and that's kind of padding out your audience or your intake. It's proven that it can hang with the big names, and yeah, not a bad movie, but one I think that I could recommend for the whole family. There's something for everybody, whether that's in songs or in humor. There's a lot of colorful characters. The animation's beautiful. Check it out if you got a kid, or
Chickity check.
if you're like me and like to go to movies alone, at kids movies. Number 2 this week, falling actually back. We had an exchange between 1 and 2 again. Interestingly enough, Scream is at number 2 this week. $7.2 million in its 3rd week, bringing the total to $62 million. You guys haven't seen Scream, right?
Oh, I suck.
Nope.
Okay, so I'll leave my spoilers to myself, but I will say that, in my opinion, the 3rd best of the series, knocking on the door of the first 2, but doesn't quite reach that level. However, I will say that Scream fans of those first 2 movies will love the homages in which they kind of spoof those films, but at the same time don't completely rip them off and use it as a crutch for their own movie. Definitely an enjoyable sequel, Scream is. And number 1, back at number 1 this week, $11 million, Spider-Man is back on top.
Wow.
It's a weird, when this happens, by the way, Spider-Man 7 weeks, $735 million, the 3rd highest Marvel MCU movie to date.
A lot of
Brian,
money.
have you seen it yet?
It's tomorrow's its last day of XD, so
I saw it.
no, you
It
did.
was great.
No, you
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Such a liar.
Well,
It
you
was really good.
you
I
did
mean,
review
all
it.
the Spider-Mans came together and they fought off the big evil villain, and Zendaya helped save the day, and
that doesn't make
it
sense.
was good.
You said it was shit a long time on your review on your
Yeah,
page.
That was prior to seeing the whole movie. I fell asleep the first time.
Oh, you saw it twice.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I forgot to tell you guys I saw it the first time because I fell asleep, and
Oh, well, bravo for you for
Wow.
going back.
you know,
XD.
it was worth going back for a second time.
You got to wait for the IMAX now on
Fuck.
Disney
What a
Plus.
fucking shit show. I can't believe I haven't seen it.
I can't either. I'm disappointed.
I'm normally totally down with going to the movies by myself. Like I've always gone to the movies by myself, no problem. I just feel like I've just not been in the mood to just go to a movie by myself. And I feel like there's nothing going on, but I feel like everything is going on.
Mhm.
Like I've just felt busy,
Yeah,
you know, but I really do.
it's wintertime. Who wants to leave the house, you know?
No shit, man. Unless put clothes on.
$735 million, and not $1 of that is Ryan Weiss's.
I'm sorry, I did not help put it back to number 1 at the box office.
It's interesting when this happens, though, because you'll have movies that have been duking it out for a while between Scream and Spider-Man, and sometimes the one that's number 2 goes back up to number 1, and vice versa. Maybe next week you have Scream that takes over
Hot
number
take.
1.
Euphoria helped put it back to number 1.
I'm ears. Go ahead.
Everyone's seeing Zendaya, and then they're like, "Oh man, she's in Spider-Man. I haven't seen that.
Oh.
Let me go see it."
It's actually not a bad take.
Yeah.
Yeah, possible.
Season 2's out. It's episode 3. People are starting to recognize her. People that don't know her are like, "Oh, what else is she in?"
Yeah,
Oh, she's in Spider-Man.
Could
Oh,
be.
it's in the theater.
could be. I think a lot of rewatchers too, for sure. Like they've seen it 2 or 3 times at this point. They like the movie so much they want to watch it again before it hits DVD or whatever.
How
Yeah,
often do you do that?
what rewatch?
See the same movie in the theater? Like you go to review one, and then you really love it, and you go back and you watch it again.
When I was
in the
younger,
theater.
when I was a teenager, before I wrote about these movies all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the original Scream 5 times in theaters.
Wow.
Now it's very rare. It has to be that case
Yeah.
where it's like probably a top 10 movie of the year or a movie that's, metaphorical that you have to interpret on your own that I want to go back and watch now that I've seen everything that it has to hold.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see if I can get that message quicker. Yeah, it's rare.
You watched Judah and the Black Messiah more than once, right?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I saw it twice.
Two or three
Was it
times?
2 or 3?
Well, you had saw it, and I think we all went after
went-
you had already seen it.
I
Or
think it was just 2. Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one.
Worth it. Yeah, it was my number 3 movie of the year.
How do you think Jackass is going to do?
I think it gets top 5 for sure. I'm looking at it to debut probably at number 3 next year, or next week, with how the numbers are looking. Yeah, I would say 3 looks good. Not going to overtake Spider-Man or Scream though. It's got a following. I actually do want to see it because I'm a big.
I was
Jackass
wondering if
fan.
I want to see it because I think they're on HBO or something right now.
Yeah.
And I was trying to watch the one, but as I was going to sleep, Alicia was sleeping, and I was laughing a couple times.
Is it still just the same thing? It's just them taking off.
It's them, yeah, doing stunts and all that. But there's a new class, like there's 5 new guys that they put in there because there's obviously no Ryan Dunn. Bam Margera's not in there from legal troubles.
Yeah.
So like this is the last film for the Jackass crew, but they're kind of saying like this new group might be coming along too. Yeah.
I never saw the 3D one or whatever that was. Everyone says it's so good.
Jackass 3D. I think 2's the best, but
I watched the show. I don't know if I maybe saw the first movie. But I think that's probably it.
The one the part that when I turned it on was when Johnny Knoxville's dressed up as the old guy and he puts the
Irving Zsigmond
puts the baby powder in his butt crack.
Oh yeah.
Perfect puff.
That's the show, right? That was when they were on MTV.
Yeah.
It was the first Jackass movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay, gotcha.
Because they had like a, I don't know what the hell do you call it when they play a bunch of them in a row? Marathon.
Oh, marathon. Yeah. It's gonna be hard because Ryan Dunn was always my favorite Jackass guy, and this is the first movie without him. But some of the previews, man, the stunts look pretty brutal for sure. And they said Johnny Knoxville suffered the most pain that he's ever had.
He's old now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take that shit the same.
Well, they said one of his stunts, he gets hit by a bull in this movie, and his cognitive abilities out of 100, he tested a 17%. So like he wasn't picking up things. People would tell him he was almost non-responsive. I'm like, you need to probably put this down.
Is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it for you.
I'm happy if this is the
MGK
end.
gets slapped off of a bike.
Yep.
He's in it. Who's he friends with?
Yeah, there's a couple of celebrities always make appearances in it. Like I know WWE superstar Drew McIntyre's in it too.
Yeah.
They got a girl in there, dude. Have you seen her? Dude, I looked this chick up today. I was checking my IMDb production notes, and they had a girl. If you see the trailer, she has is a taser gun, and she puts her tongue on the taser gun. Fucking smoking hot.
Yeah, if you put your body on a taser, I'm sure you are.
Metaphorically and physically, she is a babe. But I have to wait till Friday to see it because
what makes you want to do that?
Put your tongue on a taser
Or any of the shit that these fuckers do, man.
as somebody who's been tased before for a joke. Not fun.
Bro, I mean, like stapling their asses closed and fucking just beating the shit out of each other.
Ryan Dunn shoved a toy car up his ass.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
The one I always hated was when they'd fucking lock him in the urinal and fucking flip him.
Oh, the poo cocktail. Yeah. Steve-O's like, and you just see the vomit come up.
Disgusting, bro.
You know, every time he does that though, like every time I watch that, I'm like, close your mouth, dude. Like all that shit is coming up.
That was the other one was I think it was Ryan. I don't remember who it was farting into
Preston Lacey in the space mask.
Yes.
Preston Lacey and Steve-O.
Yeah. He started throwing up inside
because he shit in it. He actually shit.
Turd.
He was supposed to fart in it, and he took a shit in it, and then you see Steve-O just.
Oh, it's great. I think I want to go see that.
Fucking gross.
Come with me on Friday. We'll go see it.
Jesus.
Like this Friday, I can't. I got to go to Whitey's.
For what? Better not say.
Huh?
I said you better not say.
Alicia's dad's birthday.
Oh, is it Alicia's dad's birthday?
Yep.
Does he listen to the show?
Well, what a fucking ass you are.
What?
Going to fucking Whitey's.
I didn't pick it. I'm glad I'm going.
Fucked up.
That's it we got for the wood this week.
We got a
Moonfall movie. Like, sorry, Roland
Emmerich, the same guy that did Independence Day and all the other disaster movies.
But like, is it bad timing that that's coming out versus don't like when with Don't Look Up being played? Because it's very I don't know how that's going to play out.
End of the world-ish, yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird that two are out in.
I mean, this one's very stupid. It looks very dumb. I mean, as to where that movie had a smart social commentary behind it.
Yeah.
This one is very stupid. The moon is coming after everybody, basically. And they have to go to the moon to fire missiles at it. This doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons right off the bat. I haven't even seen the movie, but I have to see it in XD because it's a Roland Emmerich movie. So I'm paying extra for the sound and everything. That's why
I'm sorely disappointed.
That's right. I'm going to that tomorrow and I'm doing Jackass Friday.
Yep. That's all for the wood.
That's it for the wood.
That's it for the wood. We're going to go to social.
It is July 20th, 1969.
Hey.
And man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
You wouldn't survive if it was blown up.
Have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes.
I'm just gonna post on my Instagram account when it plays.
You okay?
Oh my God.
What happened?
Big news.
Uh-oh.
Movie world just got released.
Uh-oh.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt to play cult leader Jim Jones in a Jonestown thriller.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like him. Interesting.
He's gonna get dark, dude. I love it.
Let's get social. Quick and easy.
Like how I like it.
There's not much going on. Two things. Sister Act's own, Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
Made quite an interesting comment about the Holocaust that's got her in some hot water. She apparently said that the Holocaust had nothing to do with race, which I find to be very interesting. I'm going to sound stupid, but is Judaism a race?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say, is that a religion or is it race based or is it both?
It can be both. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like saying they didn't die because they were Jewish.
Yeah. What was even the point of that? I don't understand where.
I've seen the clip.
I just don't understand that. One, not that it matters, but coming from someone who's a minority who understands the prejudices and stuff that you've gone through.
Yeah.
What other fucking reason was it that they were all tortured? It was clearly documented that Jews were targeted for being Jews.
Yeah. By the Nazis.
Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Mm-hmm. It's a very irresponsible take.
She's a dumbass.
And I've heard people defending her like that.
How or why?
Basically that it's censorship again and all that. And I'm like, guys, you can't say this on the air.
It's not censorship when you're just ignorant.
Yeah.
If you really, even if you truly think that, you know you're in a position of being in the spotlight and you were on like an interview, you know if you say that you're gonna get shit for it.
Millions died, man, in these
on.
camps and all that. And to me, I'm like, it is severely insensitive.
The worst genocide to ever happen in the history of it forever.
And some people still deny it.
Humanity.
Some people still deny it ever happened.
It's wild.
It's incredible.
It just seems crazy from someone like her who, I mean, she
faces a lot of those the same prejudices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's not an uneducated person. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I was fucking ignorant on her part. Oh, she's stupid. What will happen? No, nothing. People forget about it, but it's just like, what the fuck?
I wonder if she gets her job back ever, though.
Yeah.
You know, like she's the host of The View for a while now. I mean, over a decade.
I don't think you can have her host that show anymore.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't think that that's something you can still do at that. I mean, okay. For opposite side of it, we're going to talk about Joe Rogan, where you're kind of saying where they don't do anything with him. Do you think the same for her?
I don't think. Are we transitioning over to
no, her still? We're going to talk about that in a second. But what we're going to talk about with Joe Rogan and his stuff, where you're saying no, they can't do anything. Do you think that applies?
What
to her
she said
well?
Is worse, far worse. I mean,
insensitive to viewers.
Yeah, what Joe Rogan says is it only appeals to stupid people. I mean, the lowest fucking common denominator. Seriously, if you believe Joe Rogan for medical advice, you're a fucking idiot.
And what he says is on his own show. What she's saying is on somebody else's show.
Good point.
And
good point.
You know, they have to be in agreement to have her still continue on. So
that's a good take. Yep.
I don't know, but so what we're alluding to is Joe Rogan. So apparently, several musicians are up in arms with Spotify
Neil Young and Joni Mitchell, man.
Neil Young, Joni Mitchell. I don't know if more will come of it, but they want Joe Rogan to be removed from Spotify because of his misinformation that he spreads about medicines and things to take because of COVID or health, whatever it might be. The thing that's so interesting is it's just a year or so ago that it was the huge signing of Joe Rogan to Spotify for him to go exclusive, and he moved and went off of YouTube, and and now all these people, and it's not a lot of people yet. It hasn't picked up a lot of traction. I'll be curious to see if
I don't know
other
that
people
will.
do. Yeah, I don't really know.
It's just like it's just like the holistic healings and all that stuff like that.
Rogan's real popular within his own community as far as celebrities and stuff.
Dude smokes weed on his show all the time.
And with youth, as an artist, you would be sacrificing a lot of your fans to go against that.
Even as a celebrity in itself, like he's not an unliked person for the moment. He says some stupid shit, but again, if you're even a little bit educated, not to listen to what the man's saying. He's a podcast host. He's not a fucking doctor.
We know that.
There's dumb people that are gonna,
there's
dumb people that are gonna fucking.
We're podcasts.
We might be more educated than most, but what I'm saying is like it is what it is. It's his own beliefs. If that's what he believes and wants to teach, there's plenty of people out there that believe in that type of, like Dan said, holistic healing and stuff. And if that's what your followers want to listen to or whatever, I don't know.
So that was my point in the comparison to Whoopi Goldberg, is that so what she said, downright offensive.
Right.
Like you are basically alienating an entire race based on that.
Yeah.
What Joe Rogan is saying is basically being treated as speculation for everything.
Right.
I mean, there's nobody who should believe that anything that he says is correct when it comes to medical.
Right.
But like, there's nothing that he's saying that is downright offending me. Like, I know that when he talks about the stuff, he's being an idiot. But
what does Spotify come out in defense of this and do? What do you think? Like, what do they need to take a stand? Do they need to say anything at all? Like, what do you guys think?
No.
I agree.
You don't think they address it or anything?
I don't think they need to. I think he can say, like, he has a right to say what he wants to say on his own show, and he's not putting other means down.
Yeah.
He's just like, this is my recommendation. This is what I do. This is what I would say. He doesn't have a doctorate, or MD, right? He's not a doctor. So if you're listening to him give you, I mean, Trump said you could inject bleach in your veins and you'll kill COVID.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to do that?
Some people, yes,
probably.
but see, like, I mean, that's the thing.
Agree.
You can't get. I don't even know why this is a story.
Honestly,
because there's go through podcast after podcast after podcast. I guarantee you, somebody, like, there's going to be more than just Joe Rogan recommending things.
Yeah, but it's because he's the biggest. It's the biggest podcast in the world. The thing with me, and I think, like, their objective, Spotify's objective in this, and one that I'm sure they've probably already done, they need to look at, like, Joe Rogan's numbers versus Joni Mitchell and Neil Young's numbers.
Oh, it's not even close to the same.
Now, those two artists in their time, I'm not denying that by any stretch of the imagination, but you're in 2022 right now. Most of their fans, God rest their souls, have died off. They're not around anymore, or they don't know how to use Spotify in the first place to begin with. The youth is with Joe Rogan. You should probably go with the youth.
So if you're precedenting it based off of financials at that point, then if there was enough bands that stood up, do you think that then Spotify takes them off?
Let's say Taylor Swift says, I'm stepping down from Spotify. If that happens, you would have a greater argument for sure. You would have a greater debate.
Because then we're basically basing their ethics on strictly money. They don't give a shit, which it's a business. I get that. But then our argument has to be strictly on just the fact of they shouldn't do anything because financially it doesn't matter. But then if it is going to financially hurt them, do they then take him off? It's still censorship at that point.
That's where my answers are too different. I think if it was Taylor Swift coming at him, I think they would take him off, or they would recommend that, hey, knock it off or something like that. At the very least, like, we're going to intrude on your show.
Yeah.
But my answer is still none the same. I still think you don't do anything because it's censorship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's his show. It's like you said, it's Whoopi Goldberg. It's ABC's show. versus Joe Rogan. It's his show. Now I know Spotify is the one that airs it and all that, but it's because of Joe Rogan why this thing has succeeded.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's the architect behind it all. Yeah. So like to come in and try to intrude on that master genius and say like, hey, we want things done this way instead of the way you've done it, I'd say go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject, you know, like with Goldberg, it was something that was blatantly offensive about something that's very sensitive to a lot of people. Whereas Rogan, you choose to turn his show on. If you don't agree, if you don't agree with what he says, why are you listening to his fucking show?
That's what I would do too.
Just don't put it on.
Why would you cancel an entire network? Because for the ability that you have is so easily to just say, I'm not just going to listen to Joe Rogan.
Right.
Cool, don't.
Right.
Now, if his listenership goes down because of this, which I don't think it will.
It won't.
Maybe they could look at the financials and decide something like that. Like, oh, he's digging himself in his own grave. We better get ahead of this. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna stay out of it. They're gonna let him keep doing what he's doing.
It's traffic to their website, which allows them to have ads, which makes them money.
Yeah.
Like Chris said, these other people ain't bringing any sponsorships. Yeah.
And I'm not even the top guy to stick up for Joe Rogan, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Cigarettes kill people.
I mean, this is not.
Stop smoking.
It's nothing.
Oh, are you gonna keep smoking? Because I said I recommended you to stop smoking.
It's the same argument.
It is.
It's fucking dumb.
It's. I don't even know why it's a story.
Because people just. I don't know. I don't really know. It's not big names. Like, it's not big. Like not anything relevant now. Like you said, if it was Taylor Swift that came out or Katy Perry, or whatever.
I think you'd have a war on your
relevant
hands.
name. Then I'd say this is a big news story, but. It's a bunch of old fucking people that no one cares about anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, sad but true.
And it's one of those where I think listeners too are going to have to put their money where their mouth is. So can you honestly see a generation of people putting down Spotify, the #1 music downloading app that there is?
I don't even use it that often.
Okay. A lot of people do though. It
I
is big.
I know.
But like, I put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that this affects them whatsoever. I don't think Joe Rogan's show is affected by it. And I don't think any numbers.
They're gonna take those two artists off and they're gonna lose like 4 listens.
We sacrificed 406 downloads today.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid. This is the relevant and important things
just opens up space for other people.
Yeah.
2 more artists will just fill it.
Maybe we'll get a spot.
Yeah,
we'll replace them. We'll replace our 10 listens with theirs. No, we need like an exclusive deal though. We need like the next Joe Rogan deal. I would go exclusive to Spotify.
How do we pitch that?
They need to come to us.
So you got to send them the tape.
If Spotify told you what you could and you can't air, like what you could and can't talk about, would you be still on board? Like, yeah, sure.
It would depend on what that means.
Okay.
It would only depend. It would be really dependent upon what we couldn't talk about. I wouldn't care if they were like, hey, we really want your show to focus on
can't talk about Haley Steinfeld
these topics, but not like, you know what I'm saying? Like if they're like, we really love your Hollywood Report and sports section. We don't really care about this. I'd probably be like, okay, whatever. But if they were like,
just work that social stuff into the Hollywood and sports.
You make it work. So it really would depend. I wouldn't
Today
be
in baseball
opposed
news,
to it.
COVID strikes again.
It's kind of our thing.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think it'd be fucking awesome for us. So,
I mean, I would eat a lot of shit on that deal, dude. I would pretty much grin a lot of the way. They'd be like, well, Hollywood Report, we want you to talk about boy band music all the time. Like, oh, zippity doo, let's go.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, when do they go in the Rock Hall?
All right. You make it work. I mean, look at fucking Rogan. The dude can do whatever the fuck he wants. That's what I want. I just want someone to back us.
Yeah.
Would we be able to smoke weed on the show?
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Gummies.
Oof.
I don't smoke weed.
What do we got going on as far as our calendar goes? Calendar of events, folks. We'll be here next week. All things go well for us.
When we were Young Tour added a third and sold out.
They did. And they still haven't announced a fourth, which is surprising.
I think they will in due time.
Groundhog Day was here and winter is here for another year.
Fuck Phil.
But anyways,
did you hear about the other groundhog that died the day before?
Dead. Yeah, fuck him.
Jesus.
Why are they relying on a ground? Why do we still do this?
Blame it on Bill Murray.
We got Buckeye Chuck. Fuck him.
We'll be back next week. We'll have to figure out the following week because we'll be on vacation.
I'll come in and run it.
Chris will be on vacation.
Ooh, it'll get you one.
But if we
show closer
can
to
make it
Ryan.
happen, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Tune in, like, share, subscribe. Follow Dan, and Chris, the film guy.
Denim.
And share the show. Like it, subscribe, leave a comment.
How many subscribers you got?
How many subscribers? On YouTube, we continuously keep going up. I mean, we ain't balling yet, but it's growing.
It's like 126 I checked the other day.
Yeah, I mean, it was at like 20 forever.
Yeah.
And then recently it started to really start to go.
Good
so
stuff. Get them videos.
Yep.
Is it the Pocky chips? Is it the Trouble Bubbles?
Pocky got a lot of views. Trouble Bubble didn't do that great.
No.
It's not as, like you guys said, it's not as well known. So I don't think it was as big of a deal.
Yeah, it's awful.
Pocky did decent though.
Fuck that gum. I can't stand it anymore.
But yeah, it helps if you like and you share and you subscribe and you tune in.
It's your fault,
and
Chris.
and you tell everyone.
Fuck you, Dan.
That's all. Catch you on the next one.
Ryan's gonna say it all again.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That is Made to Motivate podcast. Make sure you tune into the show every week. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so you know when the new videos launch. And check out our pages individually if you can. We appreciate the support. At Jesse Young SI on Twitter. Chris, the Film Freak Kessinger. Check out the Film Freak review page on Facebook. And I am Ryan Weiss. You can check out rockeverywhereinc.etsy.com to follow my art and apparel page. We appreciate the support. And, of course, at Made to Motivate podcast on all social media sites. Thanks again, and we'll check you next week. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.